for confirming. So let's get started. Welcome everyone on Textilers Project Showcase. Hope you are all doing good. And what a fantastic day over here today. So let me introduce myself. I'm Jayshree Ostwal, a new Microsoft MVP in Copilot Studio, and I'm warm welcoming you all to Textilers Project Showcase. And before we get started, just a quick housekeeping points. This session will be recorded and made available for future viewing. Please make sure that you mute your microphones when you are not speaking. If you have any questions, please pin them down or hold them and for the question and answer session at the end. Um, Please mute your microphones when you are not speaking, and we would love to stay connected. So follow us on social media handles and don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel to stay updated for future events. And thank you for joining us, and let's enjoy the session. So, about us. It's such a pleasure to welcome you all on this exciting event. Before we dive into the incredible projects ahead, I would love to share a little bit who we are and uh, why we are here. So, Textilers was founded on 30th of May 2020 out of a simple but powerful vision by MJ and Foyne to build a community that supports women who are passionate about growing in technology. So at Textilers, we see ourselves who have embraced the superpower, the ability to use tech skills to solve real life problems, impact our communities, and shape their futures. And what sets us apart from our commitment to empowerment, the vision is clear to bring more women into the tech, equip them with skills, confidence, and mentorship so that they can thrive. So, thank you everyone for being here and supporting this mission. And let's celebrate the power of community, creativity, and the textilers way. And at Textilers, the mission is very simple, but it's powerful. We are here to equip women with real hands-on technical skills that opens doors, spark innovation, and that builds confidence as well. So how we achieve this? We achieve this through training, mentorship, and with strong community. We help other women not just to enter the technology, but to thrive into that as well. We help them or we support them at every stage of their career life. And because we believe when women are empowered with the technology, they don't just change their careers, they can change the world. Isn't that true? So, after an incredible 8 weeks of our tech mentorship, our Textilers Cohort 6 Tech Deep Dive training is gearing for the final project showcase. And trust us, you can't miss what these brilliant minds, all the students, have been building. So, from beginners to rising tech professionals, our cohort members have immersed themselves in hands on learning across multiple in demand technical tracks. As you can see, we have M365 Copilot and AI app creation, Power Apps, Microsoft Cloud Security, AI agents with Copilot Studio, data analysis with Power BI, cloud computing with Azure AI, as well as beyond these technical skills, we have also helped all the students to grow in soft skills from communication and collaboration to leadership and problem solving. So, agenda for today, we will be welcoming and just providing introduction of the tech stylers, which I have already done, uh, introduction of tech deep dive, and then judges introduction will be done by MJ and Foyne. Omolola would be providing us overview of the program. Then we will go through the project presentation. Then all the associates and Omolara would be handling collation of results and icebreakers. And that later on, the exciting part, winner announcements from judges feedback, and at the end, we will find out what are the next steps. And I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to all mentors, to all support team associates who have played such a vital role in Textiler's Cohort 6 journey. The amount of hard work, time, and dedication they have all put is truly incredible. And their guidance, support have made this real difference today. So, a huge thank you to all mentors and associates for their incredible hard work and dedication. Without their efforts, none of this would have been possible. So let's give a round of applause to all mentors and associates, please. Thank you so much. Thank you for being us all the trainers and associates. I really appreciate your time and mm, your mentorship. So I will now hand over to Foyne.
Yes. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Okay, fantastic. I would like to take 1 minute to say thank you to our mentors. If you want to toggle back to the mentor slide, please.
yes,
I know it's been when we started, we said, oh, just 1 hour on the classes. But most of the mentors, if not all the mentors, do 2 hours. Some even do 3 hours. Like I sat in Amalola's class, I sat in Joy's class, Madam Titi's class, the Power BI. I'm like, are they still in class? 2 hours later, the students are still mentoring. Um, and also the M365 Copilot AI class. I saw, because I'm in all the groups, so I see the chat still going on almost 3 hours later. Myself and MJ, he's unavoidably unavailable today, but we would like to say a big thank you, Ellie, as well. We really appreciate you from the depth of our hearts for giving your time. It's like you have no weekend because the whole of Saturday is dedicated to the mentees. You are preparing your training materials to make sure that they understand, and then you are on the sessions in between during the week. They are also buzzing you. Then we had all the project showcase, organizing them, helping, supporting, troubleshooting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And there's one thing I always say, it's a principle of life. Whatever you sow would always come back to you multiple folds. And since I started my journey in the community 2019 till now, I've not seen any community member. We have some of them on the call today that are coming as judges that have been giving back to the community that have not continued to rise. It's just a natural law that God has made. When you are helping people, making their lives better, there's no how your life will not be better. So I want to say thank you. I also want to say special thank you to our president, Ellie, for all the soft skill classes. She took it upon herself to take the 5 sessions around soft skill, prepared her materials, got 9 a.m. or 5 minutes to 9, 10 minutes to 9, Ellie is already on the call, ready to go every Saturday morning. I'm like, how does she do it? Is she not tired? I tried to make some of them, but there was 1 or 2 classes. I was like, I'm just waking up at 9. I'll just join from my mobile phone. Ellie is there. We make up, lipstick, and everything. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. And I know that those soft skill sessions were very helpful because we had people that were struggling with, oh, I can't find my team member. Somebody was saying, oh, use what you learned in the soft skill class today. So thank you so much to all our mentors. We see you, Madam Titi, taking a class during the week as well. We see you. We appreciate you so much. Our Power BI team was so large, these mentees. When I heard we were up to 110, I'm like, what? And the ladies were just, all our mentors were just on points in Power BI, organized, self-organizing, everything. Thank you so, so much for the amazing work that you have done for the community. And it's my prayer that whatever your heart desires are will be granted beyond your expectation. A big thank you to everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, and our associates as well. Jeshi has said it all on that. We thank you for helping to communicate with everyone in the different groups, helping us with the organization, taking the burden off the leaders. Thank you so much. We sincerely appreciate you. All right, so let's now move on to our judges. I would like to welcome our judges for today. The idea of having our judges as men is to show the strong allyship that we have in the community. So Textilers is a women-focused community, an inclusive community, which is why you can see Dimeji as one of our associates, and we have some men. But we always like to use this opportunity to showcase that even though we are female-focused, we also have friends. We're not against the male gender. We have friends in the community who are supporting us behind the scene. And we can see that from this year, we had a lot of mentors, men supporting us in the Microsoft 365 Copilot track. And also now our judges are all men because they are here to say, yes, we are here. We love the women. We're supporting you on this journey. And we're excited to see your growth and we want to be part of it. So I'd like to welcome our 6 judges. We have Babatunde. And if you could come on camera, that would be great. Babatunde is the king of power apps, as I like to call him. He has been using power apps since inception, the days when it was sweat. You will sweat before you can create an app. And it was brand new in the market. And, he has been spending his time supporting the community as well, including myself when I started my power apps journey. I like to say he's my power apps mentor. Thank you. We have Ayotunde Ayola, amazing as well with Dynamics, is an MVP in business applications, giving to the community in great and amazing ways. There are a lot of people that he has mentored that are now doing fantastic things in the community. Thank you so much for joining us, Ayotunde. I know when I'm stuck with model driven app, then when I started using it, I'll say, oh, I have a question. Come and help me. What do you think about this? Thank you. And then we have Adewale Yusuf, our Power BI data analyst, engineer, everything joined together. Thank you for joining us today. He makes amazing videos. So if you're not following him, follow him. He makes Power BI very, very simple. And he has been doing Power BI for a number of years. So he knows data. And he also has stretched his skills to surrounding technology like Copilot Studio and Power Apps and all. So he's a friend of ours, of Textilers, of the community, of myself and MJ. Thank you so much. And we have David Abu as well, who has hopefully woken up now. It's 2 o'clock, or stayed awake. He said for me, it's 2 a.m. my time, but I'm going to stay awake because I love Textilers and I want to be part of this. Thank you so much, David. We appreciate you. We thank you for joining us today. You have always been a friend of the house, our brother, as we say. We're proud of you and your growth. And we're proud to say that you've been one of the communities, and we can see how far the Lord has helped you. Thank you for joining us. Oluwatobi Yusuf is our very good friend as well. He's a data guru, power apps guru, power automates guru, name it. He has been doing amazing things for the community, not just in Lagos. I know there was a year he went on a tour with Omolola. They went to different schools, universities. I was like, how are you guys doing this? Impacting knowledge and helping people become better versions of themselves. So thank you so much. And then last but not the least, we have our Ghanaian brother, Sam, who has a wonderful, a wonderful foundation in the story of Textilers. Because when we wanted to start Textilers, we just discussed the idea with him and said, okay, get started. I'm like, oh, I don't have anyone that's going to create a logo. He said, I'll create the logo for you. And then he created the Textilers logo. So as many of us don't know that, now you know. The logo of Textilers was created by Sam so many years ago. And he's my brother, he's MJ's brother, a lot of us on the community as well. He's become very good friends of ours. Thank you so much for joining. So these are our judges for today. MVPs, people that are seasoned across tech. Sam is the Azure guru, all things Azure. We have David Abu, Copilot Studio, Toby, Power Apps, and Power BI, and all of the other judges. So what we've done is we've ensured that we have a mix of judges with core tech skills across all of the tracks that we are working on today. Now, they don't only have core tech skills across all the tracks, but they also have years of experience in supporting the community, in hackathons, in their work life presentations. These are people that presented at Ignite, Microsoft Build, major conferences. So we have brought them together today, carefully selected by myself and MJ, because we want solid feedback for everyone today to learn. And that's why we encourage everybody to come, whether you're presenting or not, you learn from them, one. Secondly, because they are going to give you us an outside in perspective, right? So our mentors, we love you so much. We've been teaching you, right? If I'm going to judge, I want my team to win. That's natural human, right? So, but that's why we've kept all the mentors out. And we said for this final round, we want unbiased feedback from people that have not interacted with you at all or very little in this entire journey and are coming in to give us fresh perspectives. With that said, I would like to hand over to Jayshree and we can go into the project presentations. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much
Oh,
for
sorry,
that.
Omolola. I thought it was Jayshree.
That's fine. Please confirm you can hear me clearly. All right. So thank you so much for that
Yes, we can.
introduction. Welcome again, everybody, all the students and the mentors. Special welcome to everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us. So just standing on everything that everybody has said, overall, we had 6 tracks, right, in this TDD that we have done. We have 6 tracks, and from the 6 tracks, 7 people will be, or 7 groups will be presenting today. So if you are presenting currently, so if you're part of the people that are presenting with, cloud computing with Microsoft Azure, AI agents with Copilot Studio Essential, Microsoft 365 Copilot and AI groups should please prepare. So we have 10 minutes for each group. Please ensure that you do not use more than the 10 minutes that you have been allotted. If you use more than it, your marks will be deducted, all right? And so this is the order that we will be going with the presentation through. And once it's time for the next person to present, you will see me again. I'll be here to announce that the next person should come on to present. And I guess that will be all from me. So cloud computing with Microsoft Azure, are you here? Awesome. Okay, so your time starts now. Good luck.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aisha Oshileye, and I'm here to represent Team Carrie in the Cloud Computing with Azure track for the project showcase. The title of our project is Automating Infrastructure Deployment Using Infrastructure as Code, and our team has been able to provide this solution to this particular problem that I'm going to mention right now. The problem statement provides a scenario where manual infrastructure provisioning is causing errors, delays, inconsistent and insecure environments, thereby bringing about less repeatable infrastructure setup. So we provided a solution to these problems by automating infrastructure development deployment using Bicep templates. This particular solution automated Azure infrastructure development with Bicep templates and also provisioned Azure AD, Privileged Identity Management, for centralized identity management. It also provisions VMs within virtual networks, also provision automated storage, automated Azure policy for compliance, and Azure Monitor for monitoring and alerting. So for this particular solution, we were able to use this set of tools. We use Bicep for the code, to write the code. We use VS Code as the environment which we use to bring together all the solutions and deployment. We also use the Azure CLI. We use Azure Monitor to configure the alerts and monitoring. We use Azure Policy to define the compliance settings. And we use GitHub to house our codes. This solution provides this set of benefits and business value to the client. We have faster delivery time. The speed, it has accelerated speed and repeatable deployment. We have consistency and quality of deployment. We also have cost control, where we implemented tagging and policy in order to track spending and enforce cost saving standards. We have security and compliance, which are automated, secure configurations to maintain audit rates. We have developer productivity as well is an advantage, which enables developers to focus on building and not go through the rigors of setting up their environment. The design and architecture proposes a tenancy solution that houses a single Azure Active Directory tenant that enabled centralized identity and access control, and also simplified governance, ensuring consistency across all environments. We have a management structure where the management group houses their resources by environment and the project team, allowing clear delegation of access. Also, the architecture includes automated provisioning of virtual networks, of virtual machines, of storage, of policies, and including tagging as well. We also metrics and alerts using Azure AD, privileged identity management, in order to secure identity and role access. So this particular solution brought these key capabilities: automated VM and secure network. Every resource was deployed automatically using a single click deployment. Victor, next slide, please. So for this solution, we configured privileged identity management. We deployed all the templates with Bicep, and we enforced policies and compliance. We monitored results and alerts automatically using templates as well, like I mentioned before. So Victor is here to walk us through the demo very briefly, showcasing the environment.
Hello, my name is Victor Nwoke, and I'm going to walk you through the live demo. In this project, we design and deploy a secure, cost-effective Azure environment using Bicep templates. All these are all the files we deployed. We have in these resources, we have the virtual machines, the virtual networks, the VNets, and so on. We have the storage, we have the monitor, we have the privileged identity management, we have the policies. All thanks to Biceps and VS Code, the entire environment is deployed in just 2 minutes with clean and reusable code. For confirmation, you can see all resources were deployed in seconds and minutes. If you go to the Azure portal, under the resource group, the tag was applied across all resources. We use it to improve cost tracking, resource life cycle management, and automations. If you go to the overview, we deployed a Linux machine, public IP, a NIC, NSG, a Windows VM, and a virtual network, subnet, and so on. We connected Azure Monitor. We connected this Azure Monitor to track real-time performance log and alerts. We also configured Azure Storage. We configured this Azure Storage to store boots logs, host file shares, and archive data for compliances. We also implemented Azure Privileged Identity Management, PIM, to assign a security group with contributor access to the resource group, enhancing security through just-in-time access. We also implement policy to restrict virtual machine size, which is much more cost effective than other higher tie SQs. With Bicep, tagging, monitor, and storage, we didn't just deploy infrastructures, we built a well-governed, observable, and accountable cloud environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Victor, for that quick walkthrough. So I'm going to present a scenario that compares manual deployment and automated deployment. With this automated deployment, we're able to be to have an over 60% faster deployment compared to a manual deployment that causes delays in hours. We reduce manual errors compared to having a manual setup that is really, really error prone and inconsistent with insecure environments. We have scalable and reusable templates that allows for more repeatable infrastructure and consistency. We had increased confidence and cost control when we are having an automated setup. So in the course of this solution, we have a few challenges that we actually were able to work through. We had to learn about debugging bicep templates, and also the fact that we learned that we're supposed to parameterize the templates in order to make them reusable and adaptable. We also had license constraints with configuring PIM roles, and we were able to work through this particular problem with integrating two environments that had both features, the Azure subscription and also the developer subscription, which enables us to use PIM. So overall, we learned that monitoring and debugging Bicep requires careful attention to resources, and also that PIM access controls enhances security, but also requires user onboarding. Future recommendations that we want to consider for this solution is automating CI/CD with GitHub Action, integrating this solution with Azure Key Vault for secrets, and expanding policy. So meet the team. This is our team of solutions or solution providers for this particular problem, and we're able to collaborate to bring about a complete solution whereby we automated Azure infrastructure solution. This project improved our skills in Bicep, Azure governance, and cloud automation. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Aishat and Victor. That was quick and you were able to stick to time. Well done to your team. Over to the judges. Do we have any question at all for group one?
So I have a quick question. So first of good work. I like the presentation, like the slides. You stayed on time, but at some point it was a bit fast. So you probably would have missed a few things you're trying to convey. Good shot with showing the code base and then also transitioning to the portal. That's a good one. My question specifically boils down to Bicep. You mentioned there were some challenges debugging the Bicep what? Is there any other alternative on the Azure platform aside Azure Bicep if you're doing infrastructure as code? And if there was, did you consider that versus Bicep?
Okay, thank you. Do you want to go, Aisha?
Yes, you can go, Victor.
Okay, yeah, there's other options like the ARM JSON template, like the ARM JSON template. But I think Bicep makes it more cleaner and easier to read, and it reduces more manual error. So we will have gone with ARM, but it's more difficult to understand as a beginner. And also we have other infrastructure as a code, but I think Biceps is more straightforward and easy to understand and very clean, faster deployment, and it's very reusable and very consistent template. That's why we go with Bicep. Thank you. Aisha, if you want to add, you can add, please.
I'm good from my side.
Okay. quick, thank you. The last question. So in your architecture, I believe you mentioned, I'm not sure if I got that right, but did you mention the solution was a multi-tenant architecture or was a single tenant architecture?
We have a single tenant architecture.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any other question from the judges? Does any of the, do we have any other question? For
Can we hear me?
Victor and for Aisha?
Can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So well done, Victor. Well done, Aisha. Just one question from me. In your setup, because it's always good to keep in mind some sort of processes when deploying, infrastructure as a code. Do you put into consideration while working? And if you do, maybe just give me a point of what you put into consideration, the reusability of this structure, especially when you're using Bicep. Do you have that in mind in terms of reusability of that your implementation? If you do, what element did you put in place to process that?
Okay, Victor, can you go? Should I go with this question?
Okay, you can go on and I'll conclude.
Okay, we have different models for the template of the resources. We have a file as shown on Victor's screen that shows the resources which contain the VNets and virtual network with VMs and the rest. Also, we have a storage, a bicep, and everything. But all the resources are defined and parameterized in modules. So we have this single click deployment, which uses this deploy all the bicep file to deploy everything. So this makes it, modularizing the template makes it reusable and repeatable for other future deployments.
All right.
To add to what Aisha said, apart from having the templates, we also deploy them to GitHub as well. But I think we have the link in the project submission we're about to submit. We have already deployed them for continuous deployment and integration. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, that will be all for me.
Yeah, I have a follow-up. More on the security and compliance section. Was there a specific regulatory or compliance that you were supposed to adhere to?
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
Aisha.
go on, Victor.
All right. We, as we said, we applied this policy to reduce costs. We applied a particular virtual machine size to reduce costs in the environment, in the resource group. So we also give a security group a contributor access, so they won't use the resources, but the contributor access is just for the resource group. Aisha, if you want to add, please.
Yes, in addition to that, the compliance aspect defines how how users are supposed to access the environment using role-based control, just-in-time access as well. And the policy also defines compliance to the kind of resources you can create in the environment, which limits the CPU size and the rest, so that this actually is a function of managing cost as well. So we have a compliance solution that also prevents, that also works around, stays within the limits of compliance of the industry, like sharing of secrets and access or compliance that has to do with access and sharing of codes and files that are used in the deployment.
Okay, what was in your solution? What were the factors, or what did you put in place to handle scalability, availability, and disaster recovery for your solution?
We had a storage that is backed up that supports recovery. We have storage that backs up that supports recovery. We have scalability. We have Azure resource instances where resource instance of virtual machines. But in all, we had this solution, but in all, we were constrained within a trial subscription that did not allow for further implementation. But the solutions allowed for scalability. We are able to scale. We have a Windows machine and a Linux machine for the deployment development purposes, but we could not go beyond that because of license constraints. The Azure trial subscription, but there is availability, and then for availability as well, we're constrained within a particular location that did not support availability zone. So that was why the solution didn't go beyond the location.
So are we, I'm just going to do a follow-up on that. So if I'm understanding or mirroring what you're saying, is it safe to say that this infrastructure as code or this setup is only applicable to setting subscriptions with setting SKUs, or it is made to be dynamic in such a way that if, let's say, I was going to deploy this into an environment with enough resources, you will still be able to handle the scale, the availability, and the DR side of it? Is that the case?
Yes, it is scalable, it's duplicable, but the only issue we had here was the constraint. So in a real production environment, these templates would actually be reusable and work around providing the needed infrastructure benefits and scale to counter the problems that was proposed.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Sam. Would that be all from the judges? Ayatollah, is that all from you? All right, thank you so much. I love, again, I love the angle at which the judges are coming from. I love all the questions. I'm just here smiling, seeing how much and how confident our students are answering, to see that they've just been able to learn all of this in 8 weeks. I'm so impressed, even though I don't know so much about what they're talking about, but hearing how much, how you're asking the questions and they're answering, I'm just here smiling. Thank you so much to the mentors again, and thank you, Aishat and Victor, and to all the members of the team that actually cooked this up. Thank you so much. So we are moving on to the next team. Sorry, just give me a second to quickly do a brief introduction so that we understand exactly what. All right, so the next thing that will be going is from the AI agents with Copilot Studio track. The name of this group is the Trailblazer team, and they have built the customer Paddy app. So that's the name of their app. So they built it with Copilot Studio. So the name of their track, again, AI agents with Copilot Studio. The name of their team is the Trailblazer team, and their project title again is Customer Paddy. So team 2, are you here? So the same thing I did for team 1, please come on, share your screen, put it on presenter mode, and I will tell you when to go. So share your screen. And also, once you start presenting, I'm going to turn off my camera, right? Once you see me back here, it means that your time is up. Okay, so is it already in presentation mode?
Yeah.
I think so. All right, over to you. Your time starts now.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Fola from the Trailblazers team, right? And just here to demo the bot that we built, right? And it's a 247 customer support bot, right? And we built with like Copilot Studio and then Power Automate. Okay, so the project overview, right? The goal was to build like an AI-powered customer support chatbot, right? To handle complaints, right? And escalate urgent cases, right? To Microsoft Teams, and that Teams channel basically contains rather the users, right? So more like the real life in-person customer support agents, right? So what was the reason for this, right? To improve customer support experience, right? In our day-to-day experiences, we always run into these kind of issues like, late customer support responses and other stuff like that, right? So also to automate routine support tasks, instead of doing something over and over again, you can actually delegate a part of your work to the chatbot, so that you can have um, you can have some time to do other things and also provide instant 247 responses. So about the chatbot, right, is a conversational bot designed to automate and streamline customer interactions, right, across digital platforms. It's a low code solution. Basically, I think this is one of the selling points about this bot, right? You can embed different business logic despite the fact that it's actually low code, and you can connect to the different data sources and then define the flow, how you want it. If you get this response, what happens, and if you get a different response, what happens, right? Uh, it also integrates with tools like Power Automate, Excel, and Microsoft Teams for this particular one. So what's our key value proposition, right? It's low code, high impact, right? You don't need necessarily need maybe like coding knowledge in C# and all of that, right? It's something that anyone can do, citizen developers can do, right? Data-driven improvement, business-ready integrations, real-time engagement, and then scalability without hiring, right? If you need more bots across different maybe like departments, you can build more bots rather than hiring extra hands for this, right? Um, so what's the bot capabilities, right? Um, Firstly, it greets the customers, obviously. I mean, collects complaints details. If you have maybe a complaint about maybe like an order you've raised, you want to give it a description and then the urgency, right? Um, Escalates urgent complaints, right? If it's urgent, then it escalates it and then stores all input in the DB. For this particular one, we are using Microsoft Excel so that you can have it across different um, areas. So this is the Copilot agent design, right? So you have variables, right? So those variables, they are like what controls like the inputs and stuff like that. And then you have like the topics and the triggers. So the topic, each topic has like a trigger, and that trigger is what initiates like a topic. So maybe if you input like hello, it initiates a different topic. Or if you say I can't find my order, please, I've been duped, I need to make a complaint. So those phrases, right? Different phrases initiates, right? Different topics, right? And then the user prompt, okay, what does the user say? Okay, I need this, I also want to do this. Some different prompts, right, that you can use, right? Just like you have like a prompt in like maybe like your chat GPT, you say help me review this file, right? That's like a prompt you're sending, right? So here also you can give it like a prompt. So the agent flow automation, right? So we've created like different flows, right? That goes back and forth across the DB, across the Excel um, database, right? To collect data. And in case you're like a user, right? Maybe you have like a user, right? And it has a list of orders, right? And then he might input like a wrong order ID. You'd also get that information in case you're trying to be smart or try to play funny moves. And then it sends like the response, right? Also to escalate other issue to teams, right? So this flow basically is for when you want to escalate to teams. Maybe you want it, if it's something that's urgent, right? You want the customer support team to see this as soon as possible. So we escalate this to the teams and then you can send like a response back to the user. So the main tools used, we basically use Microsoft Copilot Studio, obviously. We use Power Automate, we use Excel, right? And then we use Microsoft Teams. And so we didn't want to use Gen AI because we noticed that whenever we use Gen AI for this, it's giving us like it's summarizing like the answer, or giving us something closest to the answer, and then it makes the but we wanted something that pinpoints like the answer, so we use like our own FAQ PDF file, right, to answer FAQ questions, product info, and customer guidance, right. So the innovation of this and the uniqueness of this, it is low code, it is seamless, right? Instant scalability, as many bots as you want, right? And obviously high availability, which is being provided by Microsoft, right? Cost saving with human-like interactions, right? You can always customize your bot to respond however you want it to, right? So the key results and measurable impact. So significant cost savings, 40% reduction in support workload, 25% increase in customer satisfaction. It improves response speed by 60%. We actually worked on this. And then continuous improvements through AI. I mean, as the more you use the bot, right, the more it gets smarter. So these are our team here. So we have Vivian, our Power Virtual Lead, Celestina, the DB specialist, Shalom, the Power Automate specialist, and then Olive, she was like the general specialist. So we're done with the slide. So let's just go into a working scenario right now. So this is the bot which has been embedded in Teams, right? So here I can just say in Teams here. So you say hello. Okay. So the bot shows like a response. So I can say, let me just minimize this. I want to make a complaint. Yeah. So I can say Mary Abu. Sorry, we have any Mary Abu on the call. Um, Mary Abu at gmail.com. And so I'll try to demo two scenarios right now, right? So there's one of the scenarios where the order ID is wrong, and then there's a scenario where the order ID is right. So I can demo for the first part where it is wrong right now. And then here we see, and then say, please describe the issue. Let me see. I can see my order has not been delivered. Can you kindly check this out? Yeah, is this complaint urgent? And then if I say yes, right? So we see here that it has dropped it here in like our customer support team, our CS team, right? And it marks it as like urgent. So all members of this channel and this team, right, they get to they get to see like this new urgent complaint. But if I had selected no, obviously it's not going to be an urgent complaint, but it will store it in the like in our DB, right? So I can also create like another scenario, right? And I say, okay, thanks. And then I say, what products does Vijex Foods sell? Okay, so it's this like from the um our PDF file, like our FAQ PDF file, right? So it's sends like a response, right? Like our what product does Vijex Food sell? So I can also say something like what payment options are accepted. Yeah, so sends out a response to from the PDF file. These are like just the basic FAQ questions that we've stored as our DB, right? And so we can also say something like return policy. Obviously, like we are dealing with customers here, they want to know your return policy. Let's say they order something and then it's bad. You can always ask for your return policy. Yeah, so you get the return policy. So let me just show us what happens in the background here a bit. So this is like the flow, the workflow that happens in the background, right? So we have like the trigger here, maybe like complaint status. You want to check your complaint, track your complaint and stuff like that. So we ask you for like what's your complaint ID, and then we are storing the user's response in the you're storing the user response in a variable, and then you have like an action that goes from the Power Automate to retrieve those variables, and then you have like condition. If it's right, sends an image. If it's if the order ID is correct, sends like a message. If it's incorrect, sends another message. And then we also have like our DB here that stores everything. You can see the complaint ID, see the order management, see the customer complaints, right? So those different uh information here that gets passed from the Copilot bot right into the DB. Yeah, thanks. I guess my time is up. Yeah.
Monola, your mic is on mute. You need to unmute.
All right. Okay, Shalom. I was saying thank you so much for the presentation. Lovely work here, although you used about a minute, 30 seconds ish, but well done, well done. So I see that your app is really my customer party. I thought it was my party, customer party app. All right, so over to the judges. Do we have any questions for them?
Oh yeah. I see for you smiling because if you follow me a lot, you know that even though I'm an Azure person when it comes to automations and bots and stuff like that, I'm very excited when it comes to it, being automating my BA and all that. So I have loads of questions for you on this one.
Now,
So
have mercy on our students, please.
I
This is
know
101. What we taught them is 101.
I understand. I understand. I mean it's first off, good stuff. I know you are pressed for time in trying to, transition to that. So that's a good one. So good at on the stuff. I had made some notes when you were doing it and then you changed a few things. So good. So few questions and then there'll be some moment of sharing some things that you could work on. Okay, so first off is it's interesting. It's a good, there is a lot of use cases for agents lately. So good choice, good work, good flow. You showed the from your slides, you showed the working thing, which is a plus because you wanted to show us that that's worked fine. And then you showed us snippets of what you did in the back end. So from that point of view, solid. Now let's get into it. So first off, for me, what is the difference between a chatbot and an agent? That's my first question.
Okay. So like a chatbot is basically what we just demoed right now, right? But like an agent is much more complicated. You can use it for various other things, for like doing other tasks aside maybe like responding to customer complaints and all of that.
So the scope was specifically to build a bot.
A chatbot, yeah, a chatbot.
Okay.
It's our goal.
So okay. So like I said, there'll be moments of there'll be teachable moments as I'm asking my questions. If you followed the trend in AI, chatbot, and all that, there is an evolution from calling them chatbots into calling them agents with ability to do things referred to as tools. So we stay abreast with what's happening in that area. Going forward, you want to address them as agent. Yes. So far as even though it's just giving you, it's an agent doing some work that we used to call bot. Remember, even Microsoft moved away from what Power Virtual Agent, PVA, all that, and now we are in what Copilot Studio. So that's a teachable moment, but that's a good explanation. Take it up. Now, I noticed you mentioned topics when you were when you were showing the bot. What happens if the prompt I give doesn't correspond to any topic you have in your agent?
Yeah, so we have like a fallback topic that handles that. So I think a system topic already. So, but there's like a fallback topic to handle that.
Okay. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that don't worry. Don't explain too far. Just wanted to get something. Okay, so you mentioned you used Power Automate, right? Was there what's the difference between using Power Automate and using flows in Copilot Studio?
Yeah, so agent okay, in this context, right, or in general, okay, in this context, right, it's depending if we use like an agent flow, automatically it creates the I guess it creates the triggers for us, and then we can include the different actions we want to. But if you use like a Power Automate flow, you'd have to manually create like the trigger and then the actions and then respond back into the chatbot. But like if you use like an agent flow, it automatically creates it for us. It's easier to use. The agent flow is easier to use, I think. Are you
Okay,
asking
don't go
yeah.
further. That's okay.
Yeah.
Don't go further. That's fine. Next question. Could I also interact with this agent by just voice? If you didn't implement it, that's fine. It's just a question. If you didn't make provision for that, but again, and this is to all of you on on the different teams. One of the biggest thing when it comes to designing or developing applications is accessibility, right? Because you need to cater for people with different needs. So as you are building your solutions across board, you need to make sure that accessibility is one like major thing you're adding to it. Because imagine someone comes and I can't type, right? Does it mean you're cutting me off using the bot? No. So it's something that, and this I'm saying this is like for everyone, whether you are building a chatbot, you're building an app, whatever you are building, you need to have that, as part of it. Okay, so that's all the questions for me, but I'm going to transition to some shareable or some quick tips on a few things. I know you mentioned that you didn't use generative AI because it kept giving you, it kept throwing you off, right? So I know this is a presentation and also a moment for you to share a few things with you. Is you could actually have used generative AI as your how do you call it, as a way to interpret what the person is typing into it. And what you are supposed to have done was to now say or tell it there's actually it's just a toggle to tell it that when someone asks you for information, do not use your data set. Do not use your responses. However, make sure you are only using the information I give you, which is your knowledge base, right?
Yeah.
So which is just your knowledge or your data source. Once you do that, it is only going to use the LLM or the AI just to do the natural language processing and behave more like a human than just giving you robotic yes or predetermined utterances and response. So that is what I wanted to share with you. And then also on your slide, I noticed that you swapped. If you can go to your slide, I just want to point something out real quickly. I know this evolves, but it's good to go to I believe it's the second the slide where you're showing the prompt and the prompt, the topic. Yeah, this one. So you swapped it, right? It is the user's utterance or the prompt that always precedes the system determining what topic to pick. But looking at what I'm seeing now, it's like topic is triggered before there's a prompt, right? So when you're communicating this, you share this. It comes from the conversation. Now, remember, like I said, an agent could be triggered by a human being. It could be triggered by another agent. It could be triggered by another system. So that always precedes before determining, okay, what topic based on what the person has said, works. And my other observation was that when you were chatting with your party, right? One, in terms of user aesthetics and user experience, Mary had to provide the information, which I'm assuming that you don't need to log in to be able to use the chat. That's fine. However, how sure were we that someone said Mary@gmail.com is actually Mary@gmail.com? From the security standpoint, you should have put in something to ensure that I cannot just pick Fui or David's, email, come to my party and put it there, and they say, oh yeah, there is someone with Mary@gmail's order there. So let me just go and pick that, and bring it in. And then finally, and I'm done, and Fui, I'm done, is you can also integrate a feedback loop, right? When you're having the conversation, in order to make your model better, you want to integrate a feedback loop to say, hey, were we able to solve your problem, right? Were we able to meet your needs? So that you can know if your agent is doing well. And then the first part is in welcoming or in connecting to people, responsible AI, you always need to let them know I am an AI agent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sam. So I think it's amazing. And one of the things that we want everyone on the call to know is the reason we're giving the judges this time is also for us to learn, right? It's not just all about scoring. I want to make the highest points, but also to learn. And I'm sure that we all learned a lot from the feedback that Sam said. Some of the questions I said, Sam, we didn't teach them this one. This is 101, but it's really good as well because it's taking us to another level and it will help you outside of this cohort when you go into the real world to start to think of all of these things as you build your agents. Thank you, Sam. Omolola.
All right, so I couldn't even stop him because I was personally enjoying it. I can see that some judges have their hands raised. Another thing I also want to point out to the students is that I love that this is actually exposing you to some things that are possible, also things that are beyond what has been taught to you. All right, so Adewale Yusuf, I see your hands raised. Do you have questions?
Yeah, thank you, Omolola. Thank you, Sam, for the beautiful feedback. Well done to the team. That's amazing work that you guys have put together. I think I just have about 2 questions that I'm going to basically ask because I'm looking at your topic and then what you've picked for your presentation, and I'm excited to see what you want to present because it's customer party. I want to see how your agent can actually solve a lot of customers' problem and then relate with customer because the names also make a lot of sense. So first thing I'm looking at in your presentation is I want to know who are your target audience in terms of customers. Is this like an internal customer or is this like an external customer? Because I see that the presentation you did was in Teams, and I know all of your customers cannot have access to your teams except you are doing internal, let's say internal customers or internal employee. So what my first question would be, so what was your thinking around this? Because you call it customer party. Is this like an internal kind of agent or this is like an external kind of hub that people can go to somewhere and interact with your bot?
Yeah, the plan is obviously to make it like a customer facing, like an external customer facing bot. That would mean we'll have to enable manual authentication, right? So that you can deploy it into like outside of the Microsoft ecosystem or something. But yeah, but regardless, right, it's still something that you can embed across maybe like your Power Apps or your model driven app or your Power Pages, right? So yeah, it's something you can use for both, maybe like internal and external, as it is right now. But you need to enable manual authentication, I guess.
Okay, so I want to assume that wasn't considered while you are working on your presentation. Okay, so my second question is, did you kind of put another thing in consideration on how these agents adapt to learning from these customer questions? Because customer hacks, they usually have a lot of silly questions at times, and your agent most likely won't be able to answer all of the customer questions, because I know some of the things you display as just some preset questions that you think about probably from your FAQ. So did you also put in considerations how you store some of the maybe questions that customer asks in futures, and how your agent also learn from that and also interact more with that?
Okay, for that, no, but that's like a good feedback. I think, yeah, thank you, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, you're welcome, Shalom. I think I'm not going to ask too much questions, so I'll stop here. But great presentation.
All right, thank you very much, Adewale Yusuf. Babatunde, I see your hand raised. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Well done, Shalom, and the rest of the team on the presentation. That was a nice one. So my first question is, for your customer complaint feedback or the database, as you call it, you were using Excel. Is there a specific reason why you chose Excel rather than any other one?
Yeah, wanted something, felt like wanted something maybe more outside, maybe like Dataverse or something, because I, I don't know, felt like it was a bit easier to use like Dataverse to do it. So wanted to try like a more stubborn
Okay.
database. So that's why we chose Excel.
Okay, so sometimes easy is not always the best, right? Of course, it might be easier for you to use Excel, but in terms of, for example, security, right? Or even manageability. For example, if you go to that Microsoft Excel now and someone can just make any little change on the Excel or even delete a row, right? Because there isn't really any security. So you can lose the data you have on that Microsoft Excel of what people have submitted previously, right? So a more secure database that, has some level of security. For example, Dataverse will have like security rules on who can access this database, right? And who can do what? Should they have only read access? Should they be able to edit and all of that, right? Would be a better way to kind of handle, because you are actually storing customer data. So Excel most times is usually not the best. So you might want to take that into consideration next time. Yeah, and the other parts, I think Sam already asked that as well, which is like how you handle your questions that are not available in your FAQ. The other part is, so while you're also presenting your slide, you talked about like the statistics of how it reduced the effort by 60%, by 40%, and all of those kind of things. Did you actually um, try them side by side, like the manual way and this, or did you just guess, or was there any research based
No,
on that
yeah,
to?
we did a bit of research on that, comparing it with global customer support, like the time it took, right? It's even way worse than that, because a lot of times you wait for more than 5 minutes before you get like a customer support agent. But we just decided to like fair and then just try to uh get like an average of it, that kind of thing. But yeah.
Okay, all right, because it's also important to not just like, especially when you're providing like such statistics, right? You need to be sure that what you are providing is actually correlating with, the amount of time that you are saving or the cost saving and all of that. For example, if you are presenting to an organization, you want to sell your product to them,
Yeah.
and you are telling them it's going to save them 50%, right, of whatever they are spending, and then maybe they buy into that, and it's not saving them up to 50%, they kind of lose trust in you. So you need to kind of be sure of those kind of things as well. Yeah, I think the other part where Adewale has, which was around authentication. So I just to kind of give you like a broader overview on that is you could also use like anonymous authentication if you are embedding it, outside of your Office 365, right? So that way users would not need to authenticate for them to be able to use the chatbot or the agent, and they'll still be able to, ask their questions. So which now falls back to your authentication will now be based on what Samuel mentioned earlier. Like when I put in my email address, you might want to send like a verification code to me via my email, right? So you can trigger that something like with Power Automate, and then I need to confirm. So whatever email, like an OTP, right? And then I need to put that OTP in my chatbot before I can proceed with other questions. For example, it could be an existing customer that already exists in your database, right? And they have some certain information. So once they put in their email, you want to send them like a verification code. They put in that, and then it can show their whatever information they are requesting for that already exists, right? So yeah, so I think that's it from me. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Olatobi Yusuf, I see you unraised. Please go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Good morning. Yeah, nice presentation. Well done to the team. I think it took a lot of work to get this done. I'm standing on existing protocol. I have my bosses here. Standing on basically what you've all said, which are very big inputs, right, and very useful. I would just like to add, first on your complaint part, I think it's also be nice to have list of complaints your customers can use the tool for. If not, you see them asking like I don't know. So one of the judges was saying they can ask stupid questions, right, or useless questions. So just try to list all of the complaints that tool can work with. I think for usability. Yeah. Then to my own question, was this your Excel sheets and all of this, was it in a solution or in terms of packages? If I'm to ask, okay, give me the solution, how do I then get it?
Okay, it wasn't in a solution. Yeah, it wasn't in a solution.
But I think that might be something you do want to consider, right? Because definitely if you are working in a standard organization, there will definitely be that pipeline, right, where you are moving things from testing to another environment to another environment. So you would definitely want to make sure you have all of those things within a solution. I think that would just be it from my own end. Thank you.
All right, thanks so much, Toby. So thank you again, all the judges. Well done to all the mentors. Thank you so much for all that you did. We see your hard work. All right, so we are going to the next group. So Microsoft. Sorry, just give me one sec. I had it open just now. All right, so we are the next group, which is the third group, is the looking for their name now. All right, so I personally love their their project title. So their project title is yeah, so their project title is Menopause Companion. Menopause Companion. I really love their project title. And the team is from Microsoft M365 Copilot and AI. Their team name is Joanne. So Joanne, when I saw Joanne, I was thinking, is it one person or the whole of the group? So Joanne, are you ready for us? Team Joanne. So same thing I did for every other group. Share your screen. Let me know if you're ready. Share your screen. Put it on presenter mode before you start. Please tell me you're ready. Okay, Joanne is one person. All right. So hi, Joanne. Please respond so I know that your mic is working.
Okay.
Yes, please speak again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. All right.
Okay.
So your time, are you ready?
Ready.
Yes, so your time start now. Well done. So also, before you start, please, once you see me come back here, it means that your time is up. All right. Thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Joanne Leslie Sani, and I'm part of Cohort 6, Microsoft 365 Copilot AI. And I created this agent called Menopause Companion. I got the inspiration from these things women are facing around the world and myself personally, and I decided to put it into practice. Okay, what is menopause? I can see that most of my judges here are all men, so maybe they will be wondering what is menopause, or let me just go a little bit the introduction. Menopause occurs when a woman has gone 12 consecutive months without a menstrual period. It is a natural part of aging and it marks the end of reproductive years for a woman. Menopause usually takes place between the ages of 52, that is when menopause takes place fully. But before menopause, there are stages women go through. And of recent times, due to climate change, heat waves, displacement, and conflict around, this has affected women in several ways, whereby menopause tends to take place earlier than before. There have been cases of women having premature menopause, which can start even as early as 25 years. And going to why I picked this problem, because it affects everyone around the world. It affects every woman, and every woman must go through it at one point or the other. And the WHO says that by 2021, there's a lot of women aging recently from the age of 50. We're having more women aging. And the earlier you know the issues, the better for women. This is an issue that is often not talked about, even at home, at work, or anywhere. People just keep silent. And even at health centers, it is seen as symptoms, not disease. So it is hardly an issue talked about. I designed Menopause Companion to fit into women from the ages of 35 to 50 so that it can actually capture the pre-matured menopause category, the perimenopause, that is where it occurs. You have the symptoms for, it can go on for 10 years, that's between the ages of 40 to 50 before menopause, and a lot of symptoms, including mood swings, nausea, you find women having, and it affects their work, professional women at home, childbirth, it affects your fertility at times, especially for singles that have not given birth. You go and they tell you that you have a premature menopause. Many people are not aware of this. Many people do not know how to handle this. So I thought that this menopause companion will be a warm, intelligent AI agent that will help women address these issues. What are the key features of the Menopause Companion? It's going to be a personalized app whereby you can drop in you can, when you enter into the app or the agent, you can actually say what is wrong with you and it will reply you. And it is based on your own personalized needs. It is not common for everyone. So my needs might be different from what you need, and it will give you some support. It's also an emotional companion because you can talk to it and get response when you can't even talk to anyone. Imagine you waking up at night with insomnia and you can't sleep, and you can just touch the app and then you find you go into the app and you find some answers. Maybe you need a warm cup of chamomile tea to keep you um, reduce the stress you're having or something. It will suggest things for women all over the world, and at any time, at work, at home, it can be anywhere. As long as you have a mobile phone, at least I know that you can use it. And since we're going into the AI generation where by tech is everywhere. Every woman has a phone, except maybe for the rural areas. So it also will provide symptoms tracking when you say, okay, I have a headache or what. It can also suggest what it could be and also suggest for expertise advice if you need to see a doctor or not. So so these are some of the key features of the Menopause Companion app. I have like links of my where you can need to demo walkthrough. We'll come back to this maybe at the end of my presentation. So what will be the impacts and the benefits of this companion? This companion is going to help women between the ages of 30 and 60. It will provide support for them. And I presume that at least 2% will feel emotionally supported after just 2 weeks of using the app. It will also help working professionals who are trying to help balance their career. Sometimes these issues can help you and even take you off balance, even in your work. Women sometimes have issues at work, anger issues, mood swings, and you're wondering what is wrong with this woman. And even the men do not understand what is wrong with them. But I feel with this app, even at work, you can easily know what can help you. You can check our resources that will be embedded in the app to find how you can be helped. It will also help caregivers. It will also help health conscious women that are already conscious of what will come and are trying to avoid it in the future. And then women seeking a routine, it will provide lifestyle also for them to help them in their life routines. What are the tools I use? Menopause Companion uses tools like the Copilot Studio. It provides a conversational flow and also a Copilot chat. Those are the tools I use in creating this menopause companion. This menopause companion is just a basic agent for now because I discover it has to do with a lot of empathy put in and the responses have to be carefully curated. So it's going to take a lot of time to take it to the next level. So for now, I made a basic agent that can help. Its uniqueness is that it affects our hormonal health. It provides emotional support. It also provides kind of goes you to community resource that you cannot easily, or maybe you don't know how to find. It also helps with your sleep and it boosts women's confidence. It will also help the men because if your woman is confident and she's well doing, the home will be better. What are some of the challenges in designing this menopause companion? The biggest challenge was like designing emotional intelligent response that feel more robotic, which I said earlier, which is the main reason it's still basic for now. Also, delivering accurate stigma-free health guidance while navigating the sensitivities of menopause. Some people do not want to, maybe in the course of the conversation flow, you might get to know that you have fertility issues and someone might not like it and how to pass such messages. Those are some of the complexities I see that might occur eventually. Then these are the future enhancements I intend to do. Maybe put a voice interaction, introduce natural hands-free conversation to enhance usability for maybe people with disability, or maybe when you're busy, you're driving and you need to just play it over. And also language expansion, whereby the voice interaction will be put in your language. If you're Asian, if you're Spanish, you could just tweak it to the one you want so that you could feel at home and really feel that you're in a safe place. I also hope that eventually it will meet the international standard of handling sensitive health information when this app gets expanded. These are some of my references. I went on the website of Mayo Clinic and then also the WHO website where I got some information that will really help. And I have them also embedded in the menopause agent created. Premenopausal care plays a crucial role in promoting our health, aging, and quality of life. And before I go on, I want to show you a demo of what I created actually so that you can see how it works and the conversational flow of how it works. I'm going to switch my screen to that now, please. I don't need it to take a second to go to that screen. Okay, so here is the menopause companion agent I created, and you want to go through some of what it looks like here, the description, some of the suggestion, and then here I have some of the instructions that it can prompt, what the user wants. And I also have websites here that will carefully provide answers that goes directly to provide solutions to the user. What I did was what I did with the app is for it to pull out information from different sources, specifically on menopausal information. The agent is only configured to speak on menopause information and will expand or contract as the information as the user needs. Also, everything that the menopause companion gives back is in response to the knowledge that has been carefully curated into the app. So it doesn't go out of anything else, but what has been curated into the app is what the responses that we provided to the user. I could just decide to, let's see how it works. It says, introduction says, welcome to Menopause Companion. How may I help you? If I say, good day, I have hot flashes. And let's see what the app says, what the response is. Okay, so hot flashes can be one of the symptoms of menopause, but there are several ways to manage it, and it provides lifestyle, natural medical treatments, natural supplements, and these responses are from actually this information that was curated in the app, and you can check them out to confirm, and then you get your response. So if you decide to go for natural remedies, it will suggest what you can do, and then you can follow suit and all that. And if you can't sleep at night, whatever may be the situation, that is how the app works for now. I tried to take it a little further, but I didn't want to bring it up yet because it has a lot more to do yet. But I still have the link in my demo on what I tried to do for the judges to see. So thank you very much.
Fantastic, John. Thank you so much.
Thank
That was
you.
brilliant presentation. If
Thank
any
you.
questions, please, judges, please
Yes.
feel free to ask questions.
Yes, I have some questions. Again, like I said, stuff that has to do with AI, but those are my purview, so I like to, um, well, uh, good presentation. Could it have been better? Yes. First off is positives. It's good you brought references from where you got that information, which is a good one. Plus, I think you could have done much better with the presentation. And remember, when you are doing a presentation, whether it's a pitch, whether it's a technical presentation, or whether it's just to sell a product or whatever that is, you need to put in some time to get it look, to look. Sometimes you can look at a presentation and even forget about, the things I'm supposed to be judging because I'm wowed by the presentation. And yes, I know a defense will probably be, oh, I am not a graphics person. Today, there are tools like Canva, there's AI, all tools that can help you to do it. So in this era, not having a setting standard of representation is no longer an excuse. Even the co-pilot you were using in PowerPoint could have done, I believe that giving that images could have done a better job. But that's again, but you put your content together well. It is the presentation of the content that needs a lot more work to do. So pre-warm your demos, right? I think you probably were having some connectivity challenges. So at some point when you started talking about the agent, the screen didn't flip for me. I don't know if it's for me, with me, just me or others, but it didn't flip for me. So because of time, mostly when you're coming to give presentations, pre-warm your demos, right? So that by the time you are switching to it, you are ready to go on that. Responsible AI, I mentioned this in the other one. When you're dealing with agents, bots, and all that, Your intro was a bit scanty. Hey, I'm going to help you with menopause. Menopause. That was just it. But, and for me, like if I'm, like the way I judge the emerging cap people is kind of like the same way I'm looking at, I'm looking at this, because you need to give me some information. Now, remember, especially when you're using AI, again, responsible AI, there have been instances where people have taken recommendations or stuff from AI, have applied it, right? There's a very famous one of, I think, a 13 or 14-year-old person unaliving themselves because AI fell in love with an AI and all that. So when you are dealing with stuff like that, make sure you are, hey, I'm an AI, I'm going to help you to this. And disclaimer, the information I'm giving you is based from information from these sources. Unless, of course, it is your data. For example, unless, of course, it's like a health facility, it's a research, something that you own. Then you can say, this is our research. But because you are leveraging or referencing information, you need to let that, be clear in there for them. You mentioned HIPAA, GDPR, and the application being able to record or track I didn't see that happen, but can you explain to me how the application is HIPAA and GDPR compliant?
As part of my future enhancement, what I intend to take the agent to that level, not that I had it on, I had embedded it already. It was part of my future. If you look at the slide, it was future enhancement. What I intend to do that it meets the international health standard of accepting sensitive information.
Okay, that's a good one. Thank you for the answer. Now, teachable moment. Now, anytime, all right, and I'm responding to you based on, okay, did it sell it to me? No, it didn't sell it to me, right? Because it's probably I'm feeling, okay, were you really prepared to give me the answer? But now, teachable moment. All of you or most of you might not know, but by virtue of using Microsoft's ecosystem of tools and services, Microsoft has gone ahead to make sure they are HIPAA compliant, GDPR. They have all these ISO and all the certifications, right? So I would have, even though you've not implemented it, I would have been excited to say, oh, because I'm building it on top of Microsoft AI or Microsoft infrastructure, behind the scenes, HIPAA is taken care of, all these things are taken care of. You get it?
Okay, because I've not used the licensed version yet for my, I felt like, let me put it there. But I know that there's always some kind of security with Microsoft Copilot 365.
Yeah, it's always about the packaging. As my Nigerian brothers and sisters say, the packaging, right? If the packaging is solid, you can even take my mind off even going down line and asking that question. So, but on it all, good content, put it together well. And I want to see, I'll be really excited to see the full working version of this menopausal thing, because I know my sisters go through a lot with it. So all the best.
Thank
you. That was a beautiful presentation. I'm just going to go ahead with a simple question, actually, because it was actually a nice initiative about menopause. I've been seeing your slide was also interesting the way you present most of those things. But the simple question I have, maybe you can actually educate me the more. Is there something, what you presented, can I get the same from the current Copilot we have without creating anything? Can I get the same experience from ChatGPT without creating anything? So what would be the difference of your solution with me interacting with the current Microsoft Copilot or current ChatGPT and get some answers from there?
I think it will be more personalized. It should be that there will be a way that it will be talking to you. If it's Joanne that is logging in with her issues, it will be for Joanne, and it will have like it will be able to document my user profile, that anytime I come in, it will continue from that. It will not be a general view. It will be based on what I've put in. The responses will keep coming.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. Thank you.
All right, my question of so when you say it's going to be a when you say it's going to be a more specific, right? Are you storing those informations?
The AI, the app will store the information.
On what data source? Hello, can anyone hear me?
No,
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear
we
you.
can,
of the
we can hear you, Toby.
All right, okay.
if I'm building it in the Copilot Studio, I think maybe on that data, I don't know, that's a bit technical for me now, but I'll figure it out.
No worries. Why I just ask that is because this is a very very sensitive topic, right? Menopause. You
Mm.
also want to ensure that whatever kind of data source you're using is very very secure. Like you go extra length, right? Really extra length to protect it, right? Just beyond the generic one that is available out of shape or out of window, whichever way it's being called. But I really want to protect it because this is medical record, right? Thank you very much. And nice. The topic actually caught me, right? I have this soft heart for anything that has to do with solving problems that women actually face. And, well done.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Joanne. Do we have any other questions from the judges?
Go from my side.
All right, so thank you so much for that. So now we have the next team. I don't want to do favoritism, but I'm super pumped about this team that is coming up. So allow me to introduce them very well. So all right, so we have the next team. It's a Power Apps group. Their name is the Wellness Wave, if I'm not wrong. They will be presenting a product called Fitness Tracker. So, hi, Group 4, are you here?
We can't hear you. Is it me? Shalom.
Yeah, we are here.
Okay.
Can I share
All
my
right.
screen now?
Yeah. Please share your screen.
Okay.
So share your screen, the same thing I did for every other person. Share your screen, put it on presenter mode. Let me know when you're ready, and it's that. All right. Shalom, are you ready? Take a deep breath.
Yes.
Take a deep breath. You ready? Good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's good.
So, Fola from Group 4 Wellness Wave team. So, basically we are demoing
You can't see
our.
your screen.
You can't see my
You
screen.
lost your screen. You just lost it.
Uh,
Presentation mode.
how about now?
Okay. Omolola, we
Okay.
Okay,
can
so
start
your
now.
time, yeah, so your time will start now.
Okay.
Good?
So, yeah, Fola from Group 4 Project Wellness Wave. Uh, Basically it's a combination of the different stacks we have. The different products we have in the Power Platform ecosystem, Canvas app, Power Automate, and Power Apps includes the Dataverse, I mean all the tables that we created, and then the model-driven app, and then the Copilot agent, right? So the app is basically like a fitness app, fitness app to help users, track their fitness, send them updates on maybe if they did not if they were not around for their last gym session. Okay, so also to track your progress and to track your goals, right? And to do all of this in a very automated way, and have centralized data, right? So the different categories. So the first one is the Canvas app here, which is like accessible to the end users. You have like the home screen, have like the goal screen, have like the workout screen to log your workouts, and then you have like the help screen, which basically is where the copilot is embedded in the app, right? Also, you have like the copilot being embedded in the app here. You can see um, introducing itself that it's an agent and what it does and stuff like that. So also the Power Automate side, we created about 3-4 different flows, right? So what this flow does is to send like a hydration message. That's to stay hydrated. Different hydration messages about 4 times in a day, right, at different intervals to like, hey, and to check up on the users. We also have different flows, which I will be showing us later on. And then this is like the model-driven app that we built, right? That shows the goals, the users, the workout. And this is for like the back end, right? Some sort of back end for like the admin team, right? To be able to manage their users, to be able to manage the workouts, and to maybe create new motivational messages, and then to change the different workout types that we have, all right? Okay, just the team. The team consists of Christian, Rashida, Florence, Winnie, myself, and then Austina, right? So everyone worked on different aspects of the app. Christian and Rashida actually worked on the Power Apps and a bit of the database, right, and Power Automate. Florence and Winnie also worked on the DB and then the Power Automate. And then Austina was like the UI UX designer, and then myself, right? So basically, this is just like a rough overview of what we are going to be presenting, but we believe more in showing you the practical aspects, right? So we'll first start from like the Power Automate flows. So this is the flow that reminds the users, right, to come to the gym. Obviously, it runs every day, right? It checks if you have logged in the last 24 hours, right? And then it sends you like a message, right? Then this is the daily hydration message. It runs every day, gets the users, gets the hydration messages, and then sends
Once
it.
you see me showcasing the video, be ready to share.
Okay, yeah. So also we also have a different flow that runs for the daily motivation reminder. So this is just to like encourage the users, to motivate them and to you know, so that they keep coming to the gym and so that they keep paying subscription anyways. Yeah, this is an example of the flow that goes out, right? So this is for when the user like misses a workout in like the last 24 hours. So we started with a bit of HTML. They get this notification, and then they also get a link back into the app, right? This is for the quick reminder from the Wellness Wave Gym family. This is for just to motivate the users, right? Okay, and we also have the different flow runs here, right, that has been running just to show you that it's actually functional, right? You can see have like different intervals and the different days that they run. So the next thing we want to be showing you, right, is the model-driven app, right? So we have that open up here. So you can see the goals, right? The different goals. So each goal is tied to one individual. So you can have like different goals for different individuals. So you have like the fitness level. So you have like the goal type. This person says his goal type is calories, that they want to lose this amount of calories in a day. We have another one that is okay, Oluwa dollars, sorry, has like his goal type is steps. So they want to take this amount of step in a day. So you have the different status. It's active. For this person is completed. We also have Tayo Ahmed. They want to lose weight, and then their fitness level is beginner. That means they've actually not had any experience with the gym, and then they want to lose some amount of weight in 3 months. We have like the different users. We have like the workouts. So these workouts now, this is where you can log this workout from either the Power Page, right? If you are accessing the website, or from the Canvas app, right? So you log your workouts maybe like in a day. You come in, you say the intensity, the duration, the description, the date, category, sets, weight used. That's if you are using weight, and then the workout type, right? So we have like motivational messages, which is like custom built on, in case you also want to maybe create a hydration message or a motivational message. I mean, this model driven app is strictly for the admin, right? And then the workout types, just to try to maybe edit the workout types, for sprinting, style to the category cardiovascular, yoga, obviously flexibility, rowing for strength, lifting for strength, and then push-ups for cardiovascular. So yeah, just like the category. Uh, so yeah, the this is like the Canvas app basically. So who has access to this Canvas app? Obviously the end user, the currently logged in user is showing. This home screen just gives you like a brief intro into maybe like extra data, right? So number of weekly visits to the gym, number of daily steps, amount of calories burned, and then you have like the goals here. Anyways, they have like the goals here. So this shows you like for the current logged in user. So this person has met his workout minute goal by over 149%. You have like the workout days goal. So only just by 50%. And then the weight loss, the calculation is here, only just by 50%. And then you have like the different intensity worked on. This person has done just low and medium. Um, yeah, they've not done high yet. There's a different intensity called high. I mean, that's probably for pros. And then you have like the workout type distribution. Remember, you can also log your workouts, like the different workouts you've been logging in. This person has done more of sprinting, a bit of burpees, a bit of pilot, and then less yoga, right? So the category type distribution, you have like the strength, flexibility, and then cardiovascular. Just to show you like a bit of like small pie chart on the different categories that they worked on. And then you have like the log workout. So this is like a gallery here that shows you the different workouts that you have logged already. So you can filter by year. She sees 2023, there's nothing here. 2024, there's nothing here. I guess this person has only been working with us for just this year. And then you can filter by the month, January, February, March, blah, blah, blah. I believe this person, they did more workouts in June than any other month. So you can also have it here, and then to reset whatever you've done. And then you also have a button here to like log your workouts, the workout types, the duration in minutes, the intensity, the category, the weight used, then the set, and then the description. And then you can also do like a custom workout type. This one is if you want to do like a custom workout type, you want to like manually just change some things, right? Yeah, okay. So I guess the next thing is the Power Pages, right? So this is like the Power Pages. So I'm already signed in here. That's what you can see here. So you have like the home screen, have like the about us screen, have like the contact us screen, and then you have like the frequently asked questions about us. Check my internet. Yeah, so this is like the about us screen, just to give you a brief description of who we are and what we do, right? And then you have like the contact us here. You can just like give us a feedback or anything you want to tell us. Maybe you came in and the gym is very dirty and stuff like that. And you also have like frequently asked questions, right? Just to give you a brief oversight on our frequently asked questions. And then you can also log workouts here. Like I mentioned last time, you can log it from either the Power Apps or from these Power Pages. And then you have like a small user dashboard for yourself just to see the different just to see the different workouts that you've done. See here, it just says like the description that you logged and then the dates that you logged it, and then the amount of sets. All right. Yeah.
All right,
So I guess my
Shalom.
time is up. Yeah.
Yes, your time is up. Okay, so before I hand over to the judges, let me say well done. Special well done. Well done, well done. Your app is so beautiful. I see that your app is responsive. I also see that you
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
yes, you can yes,
Yeah.
you can change it to this well done. Also, when the judges start asking questions, all right?
Yeah.
Your team members can reply, they can answer. It's not, the question is not just for you. You're not the only one on the hot seat. Everybody that has built this app should, they can unmute their mics and answer the question. And again to you and to the rest of the team. Judges, over to you.
Okay. Can we hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can.
hear you.
okay.
Okay, so I'm just going to follow Sam's process. All right, so a couple of questions and a couple of teachable moments also. Well done, Shalom. I think you are mastering the act of presentation. However, try avoid using the word blah 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 when you are presenting. All right, you're taking us on a journey. So even though you didn't finish that loop, yeah, just let us know that and other things. That's a better use of word. All right. Okay, so now back to it, a couple of things. Number one, so Power Platform literally, or let me say the entire it's a process journey, right? And I think you did a very good job showing us the different buckets. But if there's anyone on this call who probably does not worked with Power Platform before, I'm sure they might not understand what is going on, because the loop or the journey was not well articulated in terms of where are we starting from, where are we ending, and then who is doing what. So two things you must put into consideration, especially with process oriented, product like this or project like this, right, is use cases and the user in play here. For example, my first question, you have a Canvas app and then you have a Power Page. All right. There's a noise somewhere. Okay. So you have a Canvas app and then you have a Power Pages, two different applications, and there's a noise somewhere.
Yeah, we'll try and find it. Please go ahead.
Okay. So there's a Canvas app and then there's a Power Pages, right? Now I'll pick a single use case from both of them. Both of them can collect data specifically for login workout. So who is using what at what point? Who is working on the Canvas app? And then who is using the Power Pages? Do you want to answer that first?
When you say you're using, is it like
Okay, so do you think, so let me give you something. Hope you know all these things are money. So when you build a Canvas app and then you build a Power Pages, you know they are money, right? So,
yeah?
okay, so who is the user here? Why are you building a Power Pages when you have a Canvas app? Why are you building a Canvas app when you have a Power Page? Who is the end user of those two systems in this your scenario?
And I think to rephrase your question, Ayotunde, maybe what you are asking is, at what point does the user use the Canvas app, and at what point do they use the Power Pages?
So Shalom, in case it's confusing, let me explain. So you have a Power Pages, right? And the essence of Power Pages is to expose what you do within the Microsoft ecosystem. Remember, this is a Microsoft ecosystem-based system. So which means the Power Pages allows you to connect to external users who might not be part of your Microsoft tenant, right? So which means, so I don't know whether you explored that while you were working, the different authentication access that you can have. I think Babatunde was saying it earlier, you can have anonymous authentication, admin authentication, and then you can have authenticated users, which means people on your Entra ID, you can send invitation codes out and all of that. And then you can have pages that are open. For example, if you build a Power Page, your own page is open to the public. there is nothing, there is no data there, literally, that you need to expose, that is sensitive, so to say, right? You could have your about us page sensitive now, but when you have pages where you are passing workout information, so workout is still like health, is wellness, right? When you are exposing such data, it means that anybody who is going to be submitting that data or reading that data needs to authenticate to your platform, right?
Yeah.
Now, that process of allowing home page, about us page, public, so I'm exposing it, I'm making it anonymous, and then having to make maybe your log your workout page, authenticated. That's possible within the Power Pages. You cannot do that within Canvas app. So because Canvas app means that everybody who will use Canvas app must be within your Microsoft 365 tenant. So back to my question.
Okay,
The end user, do you understand what I'm saying now?
I get your question now. So basically,
okay, go ahead.
There are some screens that are logged in. You have to authenticate before seeing those screens. So like the home, about us, contact us, FAQ, they are like they are screens that are external facing. So without even logging in, you can see those screens, right? I mean, they don't contain any information. They just contain general information about the wellness with fitness, right? But like there are also certain screens that you need to log into. That's for you to be able to log workout and user dashboard, right? You need to be logged in, and those are like you need like certain rules, right? We did implement that. I don't know if that's what you're asking.
Sorry, we have sorry to interrupt. We have one of the team members that has answered in the chat. I don't think she can speak, but there's an answer in the chat that answers your question. Power Pages is for external users.
Okay. So so Shalom, well done. But I hope you get the logic here. So it's critical to understand that these systems have different implications, right? Because if you're building for textilers and the users are textilers and we are within the tenant, build for textilers. If you're any reason why you have to implement a Power Page means you are incurring more like a triple or double cost for the organization. Also put that in mind, especially when you're building systems like this, okay? So that's number one. Then number two, what your model driven, so the journey, so I don't lose the journey. So the journey is, if I'm building for people, a Microsoft-based organization like say Textilers, for example, right? Then the journey starts from somewhere. For the user, the journey starts from Power Apps Canvas app, right? For admins, right? Admins set up items that the users can interact with on the Canvas app. Is that correct? Right. So which means the administrators on the model-driven app set up data parameters that you now expose to the Canvas app users. So that journey is important, that when you are working on systems like this or when you're presenting like this, let that journey be known. Are you getting me? So that if I don't know the system at all, when I see you in the model-driven app, I know what you're doing. That's a kickoff journey for an administrator. If I see you in the Canvas app, that's a kickoff journey for a user. Do you get my point? And if I'm on Power Pages, it's because I want to make this application a public application. I hope you get the logic of those three systems, right?
Yeah, all right. I do.
So the model-driven app, that's where you hit me small, because it did not show me the forms. I wanted to see your forms. I wanted to get a view into the forms, but I did not see the forms. But navigate to the screen a bit. Let me show you something I saw. So I noticed that your nomenclature were not done right. So Microsoft placed site navigation there for a reason, right? So notice that you have new group, then you're under it, then you have your different pages, I believe, which are connected to your tables. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So next time, what you can do is, when you have new group, it's better to give the group a name so that you have a bucket of, if I see it at a glance, I know what because goals, users, workouts, motivational messages, what they are together, right? You need to split them. If something falls under, standard data, let them be named, grouped that way. If something falls under the activity itself, let them be grouped that way. So it's important that so when you are building your model-driven app and then you see your sitemap structure, your areas, your groups, and then your sub areas or your pages. It's important that leverage on them. They are not is a 1 second job. It's just to rename, right? So it's good to use them in building, right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Then finally, before I hand over to my other colleagues, right, on the call, one good thing I saw, and I think is really great, is your flow. I love the nomenclature. I think they were well labeled, which is really good. So I think you have them labeled well, right? Though maybe because we didn't see the flow effectively, maybe there would have been commendations around how you could have made the flow more optimized. And then I love your emails. I think they were also well done, leveraging on the HTML model. But next time, leverage on more break lines in your emails so that you can have more spacing. So I noticed that some of the mails were together, right? So when you're writing your HTML next time, leverage on more break lines so that the mails come out as standard as it is generally. All right. Final question. What database do you use? I hope you know from my hand.
Have we used Dataverse?
Okay. Because all right. So you use database across board. All right, fantastic. So let me you to Babatunde and Toby. I think they're on the call.
Okay, yeah. Thanks, AY. Yeah, well done, Shalom. Nice presentation. I mean the positives first. I really love the UI of your application, especially the Canvas app. It was well done, and the Power Pages as well looks, really nice. So in terms of UI, I think I really loved everything you've done. However, I think I already asked most of the things I was going to also comment on. So I just to add to some of the things you have said, I'm not sure if, like in your previous classes, if they explained much around licensing, but it's something that you need to also know about to some extent. You need to always put in consideration. Don't just use every possible tool just because you can. You need to, in fact, try to minimize it as much as possible, because for you as a developer, you might not know the cost implication because you are just building the stuff, but for the business, it actually has impact. If they tell you how much they pay for the license for each of these applications, the model-driven app, the Power Pages, if you don't know it, you might have to go and check and see how much it actually costs, right? So that's where you have, and each of them has their specific use cases, right? There are specific use cases for model-driven app, for Canvas app, for Power Pages, right? Even though some of them you can use them for almost similar things at some point, but you need to look at which one is more cost effective, right? And go for that. And so like for example, this place where you use model-driven app, which I also did not see like the forms and all of that. I'm not sure if you had some logics, but I believed probably because you probably also wanted to showcase your model-driven app skill, that you also understand it. But like in this scenario, I don't think model-driven app would be necessary, right? And that's just for like a standard scenario. I understand that you're probably trying to showcase your model-driven app, but everything you have done here is just like data inputs from what I can see. So in this case, you might just want to stick to a Canvas app even. So a Canvas app, you can have like a configuration whereby only admin can see some certain screen where they can, input everything, all the goals, users, and all of these things that they are seeing here. Everything I believe that it can be done from from Canvas apps as well, right? You can create your record, you can update it on your Dataverse and all of that. So you can just put some sort of logic on your app such that only the admin would be able to see those specific screens and be able to add all these options. So in this case, you are eradicating the use of the model-driven app in this scenario, right? So you're also saving costs that way, and you are even making your app, much simpler. So you don't have everything scattered around model-driven app, Power Pages, and all of that. And one of the things I was also trying to ask, which is like the Power Pages, right? So the cost of Power Pages is actually very high. So you need to know in which scenario you are using your Power Pages. So who are your target audience, in that scenario? You understand? So if you're expecting external people to be able to, submit their information, you are using Power Pages, right? But if it's just internal people, then your Canvas app is sufficient. And if you are using Canvas app, external people would not be able to access. So it depends on who are your target audience. Then that helps you determine which application should I use, in this case, even if both of them can achieve, what you are trying to achieve. So the other parts that I saw was on one of your pages on your Canvas app. I saw like when you open it, there was an error. I think it was the place where you had like the charts and all. So I believe maybe on visible of that particular screen, you have some divisions or something like that. So you need to kind of take notes of stuff like that as well. You need to always ensure you are handling all the possible errors that can occur. So I believe you are probably dividing something from what I saw in the error message on that screen. So in that scenario, you can put like an if statement to say, okay, if the other value is 0, it can ignore that particular thing. So because users would just come and see that there is an error in this particular place, right? And they might be raising complaint, even though it might not be a serious issue at that point, but that error is kind of a bad user experience, if I'll say. Yeah, I think those are just the comments from me. I think most of the questions already has been asked by Aya. So thanks.
All right. Toby, I saw your hand raised. Do you still have a question for us?
Actually, because of our time, I wanted to just go forward. Just to ask if this was packaged in a solution or it's just different apps sitting in silos and flows.
It was packaged in a solution.
All right, great, nice one.
All right, so I must really say thank you so much to all the judges. Most of our students they've been writing on their WhatsApp group that they've learned a lot just, by being on this call. They've learned across board. They've gained a lot of insight. So I really want to say thank you. Thank you so much for all your questions and for the insight that you have provided today. So we don't have any other questions for Shalom, right? All right, so we move on. Thank you so much, Shalom. So you can stop sharing your screen. Well done.
Yeah.
All right, so we are moving on. We have 3 more groups left. We are moving on to the next group. So the next group is coming from the Microsoft Data and Cloud Security track. The name of the group is Team Aegis. I don't know if I'm able to pronounce this well. When you come on board, you can pronounce and tell us the meaning of your name. So the project title is Secure Access, Identity and Access Management with Entra ID SSO for Cloud Environments. All right, so over to you, Group 5. Does that mean you can try to share your screen?
Okay, good morning.
Put it on presenter mode.
Okay.
Share your screen. Good. Put it on presenter mode.
Yeah.
Lovely. Are you ready to start?
Yes, please. I'm ready to start.
Good. Okay, so I'm going off now, and when you see my face again, please know that your time is up. Hopefully you don't see my face before you end. All right, so your time starts now.
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. We are Team Aegis, a blend of 3 solid teams working as one. Today, we are walking you through how we helped Oringo Limited secure AWS access using Microsoft Entra ID with Zero Trust as our guiding principle. Oringo Limited came to us with a classic cloud headache. They needed a secure, scalable way to manage AWS access, no manual onboarding, no scattered accounts. The goal? Centralized identity, policy-based access,
and full compliance with DORA ISO 27001 and NIST. Our approach was we integrated Entra ID with AWS, SCIM, and SAML. Access was tied to Entra groups, not individuals. We enforced MFA, conditional access, and followed zero trust all the way, because in security, trust is earned, not given. The need, secure and centralized access to AWS, integration with joiner mover lever process to improve user experience and productivity, compliance with DORA, ISO 27001, and NIST. The requirement, integrated Microsoft Entra ID with AWS, SAML-based SSO for identity federation, automated user provisioning from Entra ID to AWS based on groups. Oringo runs a hybrid model based in Nigeria with E5 license, so they had the tools, just needed the right setup. Let's now look into how we implemented zero trust in practice through the core controls that shaped our architecture. Central role management, group role-based access, least privilege enforcement, federated identity, MFA, conditional access. Our delivery followed a structured path: planning and discovery, design, implementation, and testing. This table shows how our solution aligns with key IAM controls and maps directly to standards like NIST, ISO 27001, and DORA. It confirms our architecture is secure, standard-based, and fully aligned with zero trust principles. I'll now hand over to Halima to walk us through the design and implementation. Thank you. Halima.
Hi, everyone. Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Hi, everyone. This design, this diagram, this diagram illustrates so AWS console using the Entra ID and the SAML 2.0 federation. As Entra ID authenticate a sign-in user using the conditional access to ensure the user meets the conditions. If not, if meets, allow easy access, and if not, enforce MFA, multi-factor authentication to the users. And then the SAML 2.0 access protocol, take the token, take the user token, the user attributes that token, group attributes, sorry, it takes the group attributes which the user belongs to and send it to the AWS console. AWS console reads the user attributes, use the user attributes, and assign this and align this user to the identity and management roles. Next, please. For us to achieve this design, we need the access control, as this access control requires these elevated rows to prevent inside risks. These elevated rows has to be time bound. They have to be time bound. They have to be assigned based on principle of least privilege, and they have to be assigned based on use of least privilege, and they have to be then these roles can only be activated as at privilege identity management. And after activation, once used, then user access and role model. For us to achieve this a single sign-on for Oriango company, we have to create the groups based on their department and assign each members to them. These groups are being created in Entra ID, in Microsoft Entra, and the permission set and access level are being defined in the AWS. Next, please. A user in finance viewer group will be able to have access to billing and ask limit and be able to read. After user have been created in Entra ID, we enable the SCIM, which is System for Cross-Domain Identity Management. This enable automatic provisioning of these users and group created in Entra ID to reflect on Microsoft, to reflect on AWS console. And as it's reflected on AWS console, the SAML 2.0 token sent to AWS will read the group claim and map the permission set already defined for these users for the users. Thank you. Then lastly, we have the conditional access set. For the conditional access set for these users, a user that is not in Nigeria won't be able to access. A user that is in Nigeria will have easy access to sign into AWS, while a user that is not in Nigeria will be forced to go through MFA before they can have access to the resources. I will hand over to my colleague Ayodeji, who will give us a live demo of how this design implementation, how this design is implemented.
Oh, hello. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is the implementation plan. We created 3 user group in Microsoft Entra ID, which is our identity provider, using the approved naming convention. And then we're able to place this user in department role-based Entra groups. And then we register the enterprise app, which is enterprise app on the identity provider on Entra ID. And we configure the SAM protocol 2.0 for SSO and set the claims and attributes for these users and groups. We're able to configure AWS IAM roles and trust relationship. We are able to identify some permissions, some links of permission sets for the user to be able to access some application. So follow me through while I take you through the demo. This is our groups that we created on Entra ID, which is our identity provider. We have the admin access group using the rights naming convention, the dev read only, the finance viewer team. And then we have our users mapped directly to these groups, which this is one of the group, the admin access, and we have Ayodeji Alimat in this group. And then we also have the enterprise application, which is the application that we are trying to access. We are integrating. The application is from the service provider, which is AWS, and this Entra ID is our identity provider. This is the application we created in our Entra ID. And then before this can work together, before we can be able to integrate between the Entra ID and then the AWS, we need some protocol, which is the SAM protocol and then the attribute and claim. How does the SAM protocol work? SAM protocol is this is using an enterprise environment to enable users to log in once and access multiple applications without needing to re-authenticate. So for that to work, we need to enable this SAM. So we are going to download this protocol from here. We are going to download the federation metadata from here, and then we are also going to download from AWS identity management to download from here. Then we interchange. The one we download from Entra ID, we upload it here, and then we want the metadata we download from AWS, we are going to upload it here. So that shows that the integration, the secure integration between the two platforms. And this is how it looks like. And for us to be able to, for the users and groups, for them to be able to access this particular application, this particular enterprise application, we need to put a role claim. We need to put an attribute role claim. This enables the groups to claim the access, like only users that from a particular group will be able to access some particular resources in the environment. So this is where you do that. This is very important in when you are doing something like this. So this is and then we move on to this is how you had your role claims on the enterprise applications. And then we'll move on to the provisioning. Provisioning is you setting out your synchronization from Entra ID to your AWS. You need to make sure this is enabled, and then you set this to automatic. Once you have this enabled and it's being set to automatic, every user that is being attached to this particular application, this particular enterprise application, the users, the groups will be synced directly to AWS using the provisioning method. And for this to be able to work, there's a protocol called SCIM, which is called System for Cross-Domain Identity Management. It's used to automate the exchange of users' identity information between Entra and the AWS. That is what we did here. And this is our users and group in Entra. And after the provisioning, we have the users here, and then we have the groups here in our AWS. And before all of these users can be able to access Hadoop resources, they need some set of permission for them to be able to do it. And then we have this permission set. We have these 3 permission sets in identity, which is our service provider, the read-only, the binning, the administrator access. And then this is being mapped directly to the groups and then the users. Yeah.
Well done. Thank you so much. Your time is up.
Thank you.
So let me give you 30 seconds to round up.
Okay, so basically, and we also notice we need to create a conditional access policy for our users in a particular region for them to be able to access the resources. So we created a conditional access for people in Nigeria to be able to sign it directly without using conditional access policy, and people outside Nigeria to be able to access. So this is our demo for somebody outside Nigeria that's accessing the application, and this is requesting for MFA. And then we also have for people in Nigeria. Can you see this is for somebody in Nigeria signing in using the SSO, and the user is able to access the resources from AWS. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Over to you, judges.
Okay, check. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So well done, team. Then well done for the work done. I can imagine having to do all of that in 10 minutes. So well done. Now, I think this subject is, if not, should be the most important subject in the entire project I've seen today, considering that it's cloud security we're talking about here, and then identity management and all of that. And interestingly, we are dealing with 2 different cloud instances here. So pardon my assumption, but let me ask the team. Your intention, again, following what the last conversation I had with the Power Apps team, is to house your applications on AWS, right? But secure that application from the Azure Center, from Microsoft Azure. Is that correct? Is that what we're looking at? Is that what the intention is?
Yes, that's the intention.
Okay. So I'm asking that because it has to be clear again to the people on the call, so we're sure. Because yes, you can within the Azure Center, there are different high-end policies that we can set within AWS now that literally can do some of the activities being done and all of that. But moving forward, apart from using your SAML protocol that you used for setup, right? Your assertion markup protocol. Do you think that you could have tried other method, and or did you explore other method apart from the assertion markup language method that you used? Would there be other method? Do you explore that method? If you did, which other ones did you look for your SSO?
That's the protocol that is given to us to use.
Oh, okay, it was given. But did you try to explore that? Or can you tell me which other ones exist? Okay. But have you heard of aside
There's
from
the
what?
Open ID. There's the Open ID Connect. There's the O2. I think it's OAuth 2.0. There's WS Federation. That's what I know.
All
so
right,
yes, those are the ones I know.
all right.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Now I also noticed you use Kim. Now this is a very tricky question. So the first rule of cloud security or identity structure that you must put into consideration is what are you trying to do, right? What are you deploying? So for example, and I'm not saying you're wrong. So if you are working with enterprise systems like Microsoft generally, where you have to access Power Platform, Dynamics 365, F&O, Copilot, and a couple of other things like that, right? Definitely, your conditional access, leveraging MFAs like authentication, not even authentication now, your SAML and the likes works fine. However, if I am to build a web application, right? My web application might not necessarily, right, interact with every other systems in Microsoft. Now, a couple of people build applications and deploy on Azure or AWS and do not necessarily interact with any other thing in Microsoft. In that scenario, would you use SAML, OIDC, or Authentication 2.0? Do you see that? So that use case will determine what I'm going to select. I hope you understand what I'm going to, right? So it will still. Are you listening to me? Or okay.
No, we are listening. I'm trying to get the question. Sorry.
Okay. So use case. I'm sure when Sam comes on, he'll give you more context. If I'm dealing with enterprise systems, get that clearly. Enterprise systems, like I'm dealing with applications that are SaaS solution deployed already, like your Microsoft Power Platform, your Dynamics 365 and the likes, right? They already sit on a cloud infrastructure like Azure, right? In that system, definitely you would already have pre-installed security structures. Like already in Microsoft, you can get to have your authenticator set, you can get to have your MFA set, and if you're building internal application, you can leverage on their existing XML assertions. That's where you have your SAML. However, if I'm building a web application, imagine you have been tasked to build a web app, a mobile app, something like that, and you are creating your APIs and all of that. Now, because you will be dealing on a very high level with tokenizations, right? It will be advised, watch this carefully, to leverage OIDC. So don't say they are out of extinction. Okay. So they have best use case in place. So you will use more of OIDC in those scenarios because you are dealing with tokenization. Let me give you an example. When people log into an application, if you use a mobile app and then you log in, right? When you log in and then you come back the next time and you do not have to log in again, what happens is that we have stored, or the application has stored your token, and that token is set for a period of time. All right. It also happens in inactivity timeouts, right? A token has been stored. Now that is done on the OIDC level. So if you're building web apps, mobile apps, your best use might be what OIDC. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. If you're dealing with API access, my brothers on the call who are Power Platform and developers will tell you that. If you're building custom connectors and all of that, you would want to leverage authentication, because in that scenario, you get to have access to things like your client credentials, where you can get your secret, you can get your identity, client identifiers and all of that. So scenarios, are you getting me? Scenario. So don't be step, because let me tell you the caveat. If you say the best is SAML, right? It means that if you want to build a web app, right, you would have to personally, watch this carefully, write your XML assertions every single line. You'll have to write your XML assertions and then deploy your XML assertions first, and then connect your XML assertions then to your authentication channel. And if you are doing that from AWS to Microsoft as your identity provider, that's going to be a lot of headache. All right. Again, cost implications might be involved. So I want us to look at all of those elements. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you're working with an on-prem system, you can't use SAML. You have to leverage maybe LDAP, right? In that scenario, for directory access. So what I want you to do for me, everybody in that group, is just read around these different, security accesses that we have, right? And then where best to use them so that you are not conditioned to just one angle alone. All right. I hope that makes sense to everybody, right? In this scenario. Then another thing I wanted to ask is, and I noticed you leverage on the IAM protocol in this scenario. Can somebody in the team give context to it? We don't know. Give us context to the IAM structure from AWS. What does the IAM mean? And if it has similarity with what something on Microsoft, I don't know, it might have. What's the connection there? What are they doing? How is AWS and Microsoft connected using the IAM system, and all of those things? Can somebody on the team just give clarity to the IAM model between both, platforms? Anybody in the team?
Please, can you repeat the question?
You use IAM, right?
Yes.
How or what? How did they connect together, both from Microsoft and AWS?
I understand you correctly. Your question is, how did IAM, like the identity access management in AWS, connect to Entra ID, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so the way they are being connected is during using federation setup. Like the AWS IAM allow us to configure the SAML protocol in the identity provider, which is on our Entra. And we were able to set up, we're also able to set this up on our Microsoft Entra. But the whole thing was based on the federation setup using the SAML 2.0 protocol.
Okay. So, anyways, when setting up the roles, did you at any point deal with any of the instances? Did you leverage on any instance? EC2 instance, cross accounts, maybe you leverage on, I know you said federated, right? And that's what you used for, which is fine for the user access. But you said something at the beginning that I asked, that are we deploying application on that platform? If I'm your developer, you've given me that access. The next question I'm asking you is, okay, I can log in, but now I need to deploy a bucket, maybe S3 bucket for storage, right? Is there anything on ground for me to use? Because I can't access that. Okay. Do you understand my question?
In that context you're talking about a new application entirely. This is an existing application. So we are adding the application from our enterprise application on Entra ID, the identity provider. In that context you're talking about, if we are adding application, it's a new application. So we are doing app registration. So it's different from enterprise application, adding the enterprise application. This AWS we use is an existing application, not registering a new application.
I'm okay with that now, because that was what was missed in the presentation. Okay, but I'm okay with that. Over to you, Sam.
Yeah, there's you pretty much took some of the wind out of my sail, but I would defer the technical to more of the soft side of things, especially during the period where there seemed to have been a challenge with the second part of the presentation. So I could clearly see and feel the frustration in her when I believe the slides were not syncing. One thing you want to do is, yeah, it happens to even the best of us sometimes when you have your slides not aligning or not working, but it is how you manage that, right? Yes, it's easy to put it out there. I could clearly see that you were highly frustrated, and most points it took you off guard. Your presentation, beautiful presentation, started off very well. Like, I was loving the presentation. But when a technical, hitch started, right? You were stressed and frustrated. It's normal. But most times when that happened, I could hear some of, I think, the facilitators saying, relax and take time and breathe. don't be quick to jump into it, right? Feel free to pause, compose yourselves before you continue, because the more you jump quickly into it and trying to correct the wrong that's happening without taking a break, you're bound to make a lot more mistakes. And at that point, you will lose a lot of us, because then you're letting that frustration take away from, your presentation and the content you're sharing. So that is one thing you should be mindful. If there are technical hitches, acknowledge it, take your time, have it aligned before you come back in it, so you can maintain that consistency. What you guys are doing is, I would say, a very critical aspect of, a lot of the things or systems that we're seeing, today, from the co-pilot, the chatbot, and all that, because underneath those infrastructure, there is a bit of what, you are sharing. And therefore, that appears to come with quite a number of scrutiny to understand exactly what you are saying. I feel that I don't know whether to put it on the technical hitches we had. I wasn't too sold on how you set those up, and also some of the responses to Ayotunde. But then I like I said, I know that for some of you this is the very first time you're getting into it. You are getting your hands dirty, but security is a very, very delicate aspect of every system, right? And therefore, you need to properly understand, like at what point am I using what's the variation from IAM based on what's on AWS and what's on Azure? At what point am I using SSO? What is the how do I call it? What is the regulatory compliance requirement for even storing cookies on someone's machine, right? Because there are certain environments where cookies are almost automatically deleted once you shut the computer and once the browser goes up. It's a company policy, right? So how do you take that into consideration to determine to say, is this a right approach? There are certain institutions that accept SSO for all the other applications to say, if I'm using Microsoft and I log into, let's say, M365, if I'm going to use another application, I should be automatically logged in. These are critical decisions to be made to say, at what point do I use SSO? At what point, right? And Entra is a huge package. Look, Entra is a very huge package with a lot of, properties and things to set up. So I would encourage you after this, to take more time, have multiple scenarios, right, and go through it. But all in all, your presentation was good, minus that technical hitch. I was going to fly all of you out, but all in all, good job.
Please, may I speak? I just wanted to say,
Thank you.
on behalf of the team, thank you for your time and feedback. Well, our focus was on securing access to the AWS console, which made the SAML routes ideal, even the native integration between Microsoft Entra ID and AWS. However, we completely appreciate your feedback and the opportunity to present our work. And apologies for the technical hitch. We'll work on that for future presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much, Group 5. That was really spot on, lovely. Well done, well done. So all our judges, thank you once again. So we are going on to the final set of groups. So these last two groups that will be presenting, they're from the Power BI group. All right. So let's just give me one tiny bit of minute. Okay, so from the Power BI track, the name of the track is Data Analysis with Power BI. The team name is, the team that will be presenting now is Team H, Team Nova. Hold on. Team H, Team Data Nova. So that's their name, Team H, Team Data Nova. So their name is Data Nova, but yeah, Data Nova. So the project title is an HR analysis for Smart Corp. So hi, Team Data Nova, are you here? So unmute your mic. Tell me if you're here. Share your screen with me. And
I'm here. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Okay, perfect. So you're currently on presentation. We'll just leave it as is. Are you ready to start?
Yes, I am.
Good. All right. So your time starts now.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Oladili Sandra, and I'll be presenting for data analysis with Power BI team Nova. Okay. So the title of this project is HR Insights for Smarter Corp. Okay. Smart. Just an overview of what the project is all about. Smarter Corp is a fast-growing mid-sized company in the technology sector with about 200 active employees, and the goal of this analysis is to look through the employees engagement, look at how the HR wants to know all about their employees, the turnover, their attitude to work, the experience, the workforce, how strong their workforce is, so that they can make strategic decisions concerning them. And what we used for our analysis is Power BI, and for the data cleaning we used Power Query Editor, while for data analysis and visualization we used Power BI. So in our findings we noticed that there is strong retention. 100% of workforce has 5+ years of experience, and no severe gender imbalances, that is both male and female were duly represented amongst the employees. Then salary imbalances across departments, typically the executive office and production. All of this, we would see all of this in our reports once I'm done with this slide. So also another point that we found out was that no succession planning for long-serving employees, and there is high workload in the production department, and that is responsible for the workers burnout. So from based on this analysis, our few recommendations are improve that Smarter Corp are to improve workers welfare and training, that they should appoint more male in executive position to further strengthen gender distribution and increase the number of workers in production departments to reduce the workload, and possible pay rise or incentive to workers, especially in the production department. So I'll be going to our report now. Okay, so this is the report dashboard for data analysis with Power BI for HR Insight for Smarter Corp. So on the screen now we have the number of active employees, their average monthly salary, the average years served, and those that have served more than 5 years. We also have a slicer that speaks to the department and a slicer that speaks to gender. Okay, so the dashboard is currently showing the number of active employees, which is 207. So if I uncheck this is the filter that speaks to this, it would give me the number of the total employees aside those that are active and those that are not active. So just a second. So while that is loading, this dashboard showing us that showing us the distribution of gender across Smarter Corp, showing us their total employees, the total number of employees by department and gender, the average monthly salary by department, the average monthly salary by gender, average years served by department, and total employees by roles. So this shows us, according to the filter, the visual that speaks to distribution by gender, shows us that the female has the highest representation with 56.04%, while the male has 43.96%. So it shows us that Smarter Corp has more females cutting across all departments compared to the males. Then the total employees by department, we see that this bar chart speaks to the number of employees in each department, and we, according to this visual, we can see that all production, the production department has the highest number of employees, with the female having the highest percent, representing the highest percent. So we see that production department have a total of 126. Okay, sorry for this delay. The screen is just showing the total number of employees in Smarter Corp, that is 311. So everything here speaks to the total number of employees in the company. So when I check the active, it takes me back to what we had in the dashboard earlier, showing us just the active employees, telling us that out of 311 employees that they had in Smarter Corp, we see that 207 are the ones that are active as at date. Okay, and we see that the average monthly salary is $6,000. The average years served 12 years. This tells us that Smarter Corp have highly experienced staffs. They are able to retain their staffs. That is probably with high pay incentives. They're able to retain. They have this high retention rates according to this analysis. And so, looking at the monthly salary by gender, we see that there is no systemic gender-based salary gap. There is no too much gap, despite the fact that we had a lot of gap looking at the number of males to females. But based on their salary, we see that they still have the same number of gaps. They still have the same salary base, the same average monthly salary based on sex. And we looking at average years served by the department, we see that the highest, the office with the highest years served is the executive office, and with this color, this light teal shows us the female, while the other dark color talks to the male. So we see that in the executive office, we just have one female, one employee, one female, and that particular person has served for 13 years. So that means Smarter Corp is able to keep and retain their employees better. Then looking at the employees by roles, okay, what we worked with here was to group each role into technical and leadership roles. What this speaks to is to show us how well females are represented in technical roles and leadership roles. And looking at the technical roles, we see that we have 94 females compared to 62 males, telling us that women and the females are highly represented in technical roles, that we have more female technicians, more female techs, like is being called, and that is what Textilers is actually driving towards, bringing more women, empowering them with hands-on tech skills. And while when we come to the leadership aspect, we see that the males have the highest number, despite the fact that the highest office is occupied by a female. We still see that the males have the highest number in talking about the leadership roles compared to the female. So this is like just an overview. This is what the insights that were drawn from the data sets, HR data sets that was given to us to work with. So that is all from my end. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, awesome. Right on time. Thank you so much. Over to you, judges.
Okay, I think I'll go ahead. Beautiful presentation, team. You actually did well. And then your presentation is actually interesting because I can see a lot of confidence in the way you present and then the way you also put your report together, right? I just have some few questions and probably some feedbacks to give. The first question I'm going to ask is, to your right, I'm only seeing the HR data set table there. did you consider building any data model for this report? How do you categorize your employees by roles, by how did you just split all of them up? Did you do most of your work in Power Query? You didn't consider building a structured data model?
Okay, so to answer that, I would take us to the table view for this data set and just give answer to the question. Okay, so this is I'm
Sorry,
picking from
Sandra, I don't know if you are
Power.
too close to your mic. We can't hear you, but it's sounding too harsh. Probably you are too close to the mic.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm trying to load the table view for this report. I'm actually presenting from Power BI desktop, not the service. So the okay, to start with the question on the roles, that's employees by roles. What we did was that on Power BI, the table view, we added a new column and grouped the rows of the table view is just coming up. I would have just put you through. Groups the row each rows of the employees into technical roles, leadership roles, and non-technical roles. That is how we got the roles, how we divided this the employees into different roles so that we can get the number of females in each role. So
okay, I think one person in your team wants to talk before I go ahead. Nana, your hand is up.
Okay, thank you. So about the question you asked, whether we considered creating models for the data set. Yes, we did consider that. In fact, we created so many dimensional tables. But going back to the question, we realized that the focus of the questions didn't require us to do so much about creating so many models. So what we did instead was to eliminate some of the columns we may not need, just to focus on the questions that have been given us. So our data set was given to us to perform a specific task. So we just had to answer to that. So of course, we considered creating the dimensional tables and the fact tables. In fact, if I have to show you my machine, you will see all those tables or models. But for the purpose of this presentation, we decided to just eliminate the columns or the features that will not add up to the questions that have been put to us. Thank you.
Okay, I think that's also a good response. But these solutions you build now, I can say it's a good solution, but it's a solution of now. So if you are considering building a solution for the future, that's something will constantly be changing in your dashboard, on your report. You have additional staff. You keep on having new things. You should build a solution for the future. So when you are building a solution, you should also always have it at the back of your mind that I'm not just building a solution that answer now questions. I'm also building a solutions that answer future questions. And that is why you actually need to create a data model. So it's also good that you created a calculated column here to group your maybe roles, departments. But what happened when something changed? What happened when a rules change? So do you have to come back to your calculation and keep amending that all the time? So you need to create a structured data model, right? A structured data model, categorize most of those dimensions clearly, and the facts should also be clear. Another thing I also want to put into your dashboard is, if you go to your dashboard, I noticed that there is no specific time of when you are reporting this dashboard, as at when. So this total number of staff 207, as at when. Is this total number of staff as at 2022? Is this total number of staff as at 2023? Is it as at 2025? As at when?
okay, this speaks to the total number of employees at 2025.
Okay, but it's not stated anywhere in your report, right?
Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah. So
The only
those
thing
are the
that speaks
things.
to it is the filter that talks the slides are rather that talks about the active and other. If I put that in focused mode, shows us the those that have terminated. It's a slider that speaks to those that have terminated, those that are still active. So what we have 207 tells us those that are active presently. That's as at 2025. Although we don't have a specific, maybe a date that shows that, okay, this is speaking to that on this dashboard.
Yeah, so I think you have a date dimension on your table, correct? So with the date dimension, I think you can build probably a date and just create a date dimension and connect that to your date on your table, so that you can actually show, and you can even show some things like a difference between to even shows difference between this year, how many staff do we have last year, how many staff do we have this year. Let's compare the total number of staff we have last year to the total number of staff we have this year. So you kind of do a bit of comparison in terms of the year. Then the slicer you have here for active, in terms of design, that's not good enough, because if I can only see active, I don't know what that means. I don't know. There's no title. There's no other things to select, right? So probably you should have positioned it correctly. Or if it's not only active that I'm selecting, maybe you should have created a group yourself to say maybe active and all. So maybe all employee and then active employee. So I know when I'm selecting active, there is another one called all employee. Then I think the slicers you have at the top as well, I can barely see those slicers, and I don't know what it means. Admin office, executive office, and all that. I think in terms of design, you still need to work a bit more on clarity, a bit more on hierarchy. So hierarchy simply means, what do you want me to look at first when I look at your dashboard? Then after I finish looking at that, what's the next thing you want me to look at, right? Well, based on your dashboard, your hierarchy kind of starts from Smart Data Corp. So which is the logo of the company and is useless to me, right? So once I look at your report, the first thing I'm going to look at is Smart Corp, because that's the first thing my eyes will look at. Then after that, maybe the card, but not really. So you need to also put in consideration building hierarchies in your report. And aside from that, your choice of color makes sense. It's just that the what do I want to call it? The grid, which is the black grid, it's kind of too much. You can find a way to get rid of that and just make it simple. But all in all, I think it's a good presentation. You just need to work on building more robust model, answer more interesting questions to see. The fact that you use descriptions too is also a lot. It makes sense a lot, because I can see that you describe almost everything you have in your dashboard. So well done.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah, quick one, please. Can I see that slide? The first page of the slide. Just 1 second, please. I'm sorry, second. Where you have your okay. Yeah, just wanted to get clarity on what you're trying to achieve. When you say you're trying to improve employee engagement and turnover, and reduce turnover and ensure equal representation. I think one thing I would have loved to see, feeding off what Adewale had said, right? He talked about having trends. So if we are, as we had the years, right, able to compare, 2024 against 2025, what's the balance, right? How many male, how many female do we have? Then I feel, since it's HR analysis, I think something I would have loved to see, or an HR or a management or organization want to see, is performance, right? Against performance, how does that then relate to performance, right? So that I can then say, okay, maybe when I have certain persons, or when I have people that are not really burned out, they tend to perform more, or if not, because of this and this, they are not performing less. So I think I'd have loved to see something around that, just to contribute to what Adewale has said. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, just the feedback. This dashboard or the insights that we got was based solely on the questions that we're given to answer. Like we're giving like a it was based solely on what we're asked to do. So thank you for your feedback, sir.
All right.
And also to add, in fact, again, if I share my screen with you, you realize that in fact we considered all those things. So we have a yearly trend of turnout, a whole lot of insights on attrition and what have you. But again, we dwelled on the specific questions that the company has asked us to find. So we acknowledge your feedbacks. I think going forward, we can also add more insights to our analysis, then suggest to the company what we've seen about the data. So thank you very much.
All right, Babatunde, please go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. I think Adewale already kind of covered most of the questions. This is the Power BI guru anyways. I think, can you share your screen again, that I presented? So I think the only observation I have left that has not been covered was, and I think Adewale also mentioned it. So like in your use of colors, if you go back to your Power BI report, so whenever you are designing, and this is not just for Power BI, any design, it could also be Power Apps and all, you need to kind of always put, accessibility in mind. You need to always consider that, like, use of color, how visible is it? So for example, if you look at like the top parts where you have your slides as like the admin offices, executive, the use of the colors is not so visible. So if I'm looking at it from like afar, I can barely see the words, especially someone who can't see properly, for example, right? So unlike the other ones, like if you look at like your total employees, you can see that the white is more visible on that, right? So you need to always try to use colors that are, but the green and the other, the teal green and the other green that you're using at the back doesn't look, very clear. So I'll drop a link on this chat which can also assist you. And this is also for like if you're a Power Apps developer and stuff, when you're considering the colors you want to use, right? So you can use this contrast checker to check the colors, so the background color and the text color that you are using. So you are saying it's going to show you like what was the ratio, what's the best one, right? So if it's going to like red, you know that that color is not so good. The color combination is not so good, but if you are using if it's green, then it means like it's fine. So that's something you need to also consider. And this goes to, both if you are doing Power Apps or anything that has to do with like the user interface, because that's also very important whenever you are building any solution. The user experience, the user interface is what kind of catches the attention of the users. So that's it from me.
All right. Thank you so much. Do we have any other question for this group before we go to the final group?
I think the data aspect punched all the holes, so I would defer to them.
All right. Okay, thank you very much. So the last group. One second again. Sorry, I'm doing. Okay, so for the last group is also a Power BI, is also from the Power BI track. The name of the team is the Dynamic Team. The project title is the Smart Hub HR Insight, Smart Hub HR Insight. So Dynamic Team, can you hear me? Again, once you see my face, it's the buzzer sound, all right? You have 10 minutes, your time. Are you good? You're good to go, yes?
Yes. Are you see my screen?
Did you? I can see your screen.
All right, thank you.
All
Okay.
right, so your time starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is, let me start from, my name is Emmanuel. And basically, we are excited to present our project. That's the Group F. We are the dynamic team. And the name of the project is Workforce Insights and HR Analysis for Smarter Corps. So in today's, this is our team. In today's fast space build business world, data doesn't mean number. It tells about stories. And for Spartakov, a group of tech, that's the overview now, a group of tech that is growing up and they are facing challenges and the company facing HR challenges like burnout, gender imbalance, turning that data into the data into inaction or insights as critical. So the main goal of this presentation is that we want to develop we develop a dashboard that can implicit make a decision on how the solution can come up, in the sense that we have a spreadsheet, we clean our data, we have there's interactive dashboard that makes complex information easy to explore and use of smart decision. So this is what we design, and our demo. So the demo is on. That's what we design. That's our demo. And based on this, the total number of employee, my colleague will go on with the live demo. But before that, I'd like to key in to the key insights and recommendation. So for the recommendation, okay, I'm coming. Okay, key insight and recommendation. So like I said, we have to support long tenure team to address potential turnout, as well as current employee have 5 years of experience. So likewise, we also decide about to improve gender balance by hiring more male employee in the production team and increasing presentation in executive role. And likewise, one of our recommendations, and since the production department has the highest voluntary turn-up of 75 people, the low average salary, raising pay could reduce turnover and boost morale. So with this, I will tell my colleague to share the live demo on the HR dashboard. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ijoma, and I'm representing the Dynamic team. Here is an overview of our dashboard using the Power BI app. And we have here, this is the design for the company. We have the number of employees to be 331. Please bear in mind, we have the slicer for the employment status, department, the gender as well. So currently for employment status, we have all to be activated, which is giving us 311. If we have for active employees, we have 207. We also see that the average years of service changes to be 12 years. 5+ years experience also changes. We have 207 employees, alongside the average monthly salary for active employees to be $5,891. For terminated for costs, putting this slicer activated, we also see the number of employees, average years of service, 5 years plus experience, and also all the other visuals to have also changed. So focusing on active employees, currently we have average yearly salary across departments, the highest to be for executive office, which is 250K. Applying the gender, we have for female, and we also have for the male gender as well. If we do notice, putting this slicer to mode, we see that on the average yearly salary, we do not have any column for the male gender. That is because on the executive office, we only have female in this particular office earning 250K annually. And we have for software engineering 96K, ITIS 91K respectively. Gender distribution, having all activated under the active employment status, we have 116 female and 91 male. Putting the other ones also to mode, terminated for cause, we have 9 female, 7 male, and voluntarily terminated 51 female, 37 male. So we can see that we have a lot of people to have left the company due to several reasons, probably due to burnout, due to low pay or whatever, demoted motivation when it comes to work. This is something that the dashboard has clearly shown that the HR department should also take into cognizance. Under the role distribution, putting the female gender activated, we have for technical team, we have 150 females, we have 23 leadership, and for the non-technical, we have 3. Putting the male gender also up, we have for technical, we have 104, and leadership 31. If we are to activate the departments, as the case may be, we also see different data being put up as well. So going forward, salary difference we see for the gender here, the female and the male, as we can see by the color coding, female dark blue and the male gender teal. We see this for different departments. You can see here, for example, production, we have the female earning more than the male, IT, the male earning more than the female, sales, the male earning more than the female as well. And also, if you're to scroll on the column, you'll see by the percentage, which gives you a clearer view. Years of experience with all of the slices activated as well. We have for sales, female 15 years, the male 19 years. They are the highest, followed by production, male 18 years, female 17 years. Admin office, female 17 years, male 11 years, and the case goes on. On the employment distribution by department, we have this to be 207 under all employment status, activating active, that is the active employees, we have 126, for production, IT 40, sales 26, admin office 7, software 7, executive office 1. If we were to do it by gender, you also see this as well. For the male gender, again, we also see that the numbers change. Putting it by departments as well, we see we're able to play around, giving us the data as the case may be. So yes, this is an overview. We were able to also have this done in the mobile layout as well. And this works when you have this connected to your phone. So this also gives you an avenue to have this played around, on your mobile phone and also on the dashboard, on the desktop view as well. This is the presentation for the dynamic team under the HR, Smarter Corp HR dashboard. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Samuel, you want to go ahead?
This is your field, so I want you to take the lead, and then I would come in with mine.
Okay, beautiful presentation, Ijeoma. I like the confidence in your tone, and then I think your presentation was actually amazing. Yeah.
Thank you.
The report is also interesting. You answer a lot of questions, but the same question I asked the other teams still apply to you. Did you build a data model for this report, or you just connect to a single table and you do all your cleanup on the table?
No, we didn't do a data model. We just had the data sets cleaned up and what have you with the use of calculated columns as well as measures, quick measure, as we can see from the data. Yes, please.
Okay, yeah, great. Then I think my comment will go straight to your dashboard. The first comment I give the other team applies to you. So you need to build a solution for the future. Always think of a robust data model when you are building, even if it's just a little or 1 or 2 questions you are trying to answer, and try to build something for the future, something that can be scalable. From your report point of view, I can say you still need to do a lot of work in terms of alignment, in terms of design, in terms of putting things together. So, for example, if you look at those cards at the top, the 4 cards, right? I can easily see that there's a difference in terms of the space between each of the cards. Like if you look at 5 years of experience and average monthly salary, so I can see that the space is not the same with the other one. I can see a shadow transparenting on the other one. So in terms of design, you need to actually look at every little things actually matters. Also, where you place your slicers as well, you can see a lot of overlays on those slicers. In fact, shadow, I don't want to say don't use shadow, right? But you should use shadow where necessary. The other feedback I gave to the other team also applies to you. I don't know which year you are showing this 207 staff. We don't know which is 2025 or 2026. You should have probably bring it, since you have a date table in your, you want to say something on that? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So my apologies. So this is what we basically did, right? Under the years of service, right? We had for calculated column. So we did a DAX formula having this date of hire by today. So we're saying today, okay, irrespective of whenever it is. So today, giving us the year and of course the years of group. And then we had the quick measure for the 5 years, which is in relations to the years of service and also the years of group. So we actually put into cognizance the day being today as well.
Yeah. So which means definitely you have a date that you are looking at in your model, right? Which is I think what date is that? Date of hire or something. I think you have
date of hire and date of termination. Yes, these two columns.
Yes. So practically you have a date. So you should have actually take into consideration those date. Another thing I also saw in the design in your dashboard is in a place where you use line charts, years of experience across departments. You should only use line charts when you are talking about trends, which is time. When you're talking about time, like quarter, like year, like months, like day. So you should never use a line chart for a categorical value. So a categorical value. So that's one feedback. Then also the bar chart. So look at the bar chart beside it. That is also used for trend and time, right? When you have a categorical value, it always makes sense you use the horizontal bar chart, the ones that goes like this. So
like this one.
Yeah, so that way you'll be able to read the text clearly without those tests bend like what you can see now. Do you see the way those tests are bent? So if you use a straight one, probably you won't see that, because if you just blend like the average salary across departments, look at that one. The first chart, exactly, something like that. And I think in terms of that, you need just to improve the dashboard a bit, but in terms of the story, you've tell the story as you can tell, like the other team also mentioned. So sometimes just put in considerations to tell things that you think it's outside what is being asked. Like let your reports be MISI compliance, like a statement I put in the chat, so that you can answer most of the audience. So I'm going to put a link in the chat that can also help in terms of dashboard creation.
Okay.
So there's actually a course that can help in terms of dashboard creation. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think you did a good job.
Thank you.
The flow of the presentation was good.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think most of the feedback Diwali shared, very valid feedback. I'm more of again, also pointing out the aesthetics of it. For example, looking at the sex and department overlap. So those are like little things that we can add up to it. But I think all in all, you did well. That's a good one. So keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Do we have any other question from any of the judges? Any inputs? Anything at all? All right. So thank you so much to the last group. Okay, so we have come to the end of the presentation. So we are going to give the judges some time now to collate the results, and so we're going to have some games. But before we do, I just want to say thank you again to all the students. One, thank you for coming. for joining, for registering, for learning, for going through the whole soft skills. All of the Saturdays. Thank you for participating in the project. Thank you for, showcasing and showing and making our efforts come out, really. Thank you so much to you. So well done. Whether you presented today or you didn't get to present today and you had presented to us before now, well done, well done. We see all of you and we commend your effort. So to all the judges again, thank you so much for all the insights. Personally, I've learned a lot just hearing and listening to you give your input. So I'm going to hand over now to Lara for games. So we're going to have these short games just while the judges are collating the scores, right? So don't go anywhere. I want you to participate in the games and we'll have the drum roll moment when we're going to hear the winners, all right? But whatever the outcome is, so far you participated today. If so far you are in Textilers, you're already a winner, right? Everybody is a winner. So over to you, Lara.
Yeah. Thank you, Amalola. Thank you for taking us on the journey of the presentations. Thank you to every presenter. Thank you to our guests and everyone who came to support, whether you presented, you didn't present. As my colleagues have said, I'll just echo that we are all champions, that we're all winners. And I believe we've learned a couple of things from this presentation. So right now, while the judges are collating the scores, let's just chat. And let's have a stretch break. If you can turn on your cameras, that'd be very fantastic. Okay, well, are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
All right. Thank you all for your time. Thank you so much for the engagement and wish you all the best with the results. Bye for now.
I will pass it on to our judges. We've gone behind the scenes we didn't do anything. The judges did the collation. We just Textilers mentors and Textilers leaders just moderated, and the judges have put in their scores and they've given their verdicts. So I'll hand over to Babatunde to share the feedback. Thank you. Tunde, over to you.
Okay. Yeah, hi everyone. Yeah, so thank you to every member of the team who has presented. Really enjoyed your presentations. For beginners, it's quite impressive what everybody has done. Being able to, go outside of even what you have been taught to build those amazing solutions using different tools, different platforms is actually quite impressive for beginners. So really appreciate all of the effort that you have put in for this. However, there are just a few feedback that we have regarding to your presentation. So and this is general for every one of us, different teams. So regarding your presentation, I think for subsequent times, when you are presenting, please ensure that you present as if you are presenting to people that are not technical, right? So a lot of times your presentation might not necessarily be to people who are technical, right? It could be somebody who has no knowledge of what you are doing. So when you are presenting, always ensure that your presentation is kind of not too technical, except you are presenting to a technical team, so that even if that person is coming in for the first time or hearing about your solution for the first time, they are able to understand that this is what the solution does, right? So explain as if you're explaining to like a 5-year-old. So from the beginning, from your overview, you are explaining this is the problem I'm trying to solve. This is what this application does and all of that. So you are not just going to like the core technical aspects without understanding, without the users that you're interacting with, understanding, the solution. So that's very important. Another important thing is your time management. So for a few of you, you were kind of over the time. So you need to ensure that your time management is very important. So you have been told that you have 10 minutes, right? So you can go ahead to before the time, prepare your slide, try to present to yourself or present to others, and see that you are able to cover everything you need to cover within that 10 minutes, right? So that way, when you are actually presenting the live one, you have you are able to still meet up with that time, right? So that's also very important. Yeah, the other thing is you need to ensure, so this is a group presentation, right? I also expect that, I mean, some of the team did that, but there were some teams where it was just one person that presented, right? So you need to ensure that in a group presentation, everybody is kind of a part of the presentation, or almost everyone. So somebody can, share the slide. Some other person can do the remaining part of the slide. Somebody can do, the demo of the application and all of that. So that's also very important. The other part of it is when you are also building applications or building solutions, always ensure to choose, the right platform. So there is always more than one way to achieve something, right? 2 plus 2 can give you 4, 3 plus 1 can give you 4, 0 plus 4 can give you 4, right? However, it's important to know which platform is best suited for whatever solution you're trying to build. So like, for example, like the Power Pages team, right? When Power Pages can do this and Power Apps can do this, or Canvas app can do this, model-driven app can, achieve the same thing, which would be best suited, which would be more cost effective. It could be based on different things that you put in consideration to know which platform is the best. So also, there are times where you are in a meeting and stuff like that, and you are asked some questions which you don't know the answer to. You can always let them know, okay, you don't have like an answer at this point, rather than, giving a wrong answer. It's better you say, okay, I can get back to you. I'll check and, I'll revert regarding this, and you can, make your research and give a more correct answer. Yeah, I think these are a few of my feedback. I don't know if any of the judges has anything to add to that.
No, I guess you've covered everything. Thank you so much, Babatunde. So, can you see my screen? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Can see.
Okay, all right. So, let's move on to the announcements of the winners. I think Babatunde had to go offline. So maybe if any of the other, are you here?
No, I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I thought you had to drop. Okay. So over to you to announce the winners.
Okay. So first of all, just like we said, everybody did amazingly well. We really enjoyed your presentation. Everybody went, the extra mile. However, we have to kind of choose some winners, which is what we have done. And so we are going to just announce, the top 3 winners. And
Sorry,
in the third, okay.
I have to share my screen, but go ahead,
All right.
please.
Yes. So we are going to be announcing the top 3 teams. And while we are waiting so we are starting from the third position.
Sorry, the screen doesn't want us to announce the winners.
Shall I share?
It's fine. I think I have it now. Just 1 second. Share. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, so the third position is the data and cloud security team, who presented the identity and access management with Entra ID. So We really enjoyed your presentation. We understand that even though you were taught more of Azure, you also went the extra mile, to make your research and do some stuff with AWS and do the integration, which was, very impressive. So thank you and well done to the team. We wish you all the best in every of your future endeavors because we know you are still going to do more amazing things, more amazing solutions than this. And I'm sure there'll be a time when you will look back and I do that a lot. Like sometimes I look back at some of the applications I've built like 5 years ago, and I'm always like, am I the one that built this? Because you'd have seen the growth in the next 1-2 years. You see, better ways to implement some of the solutions that you have built and all of that. So well done to the data and cloud security team for coming third. So in the second position is the cloud computing with Microsoft Azure, the team carries, who demonstrated how to automate the infrastructure deployments in Azure. If you know me, I'm someone who likes a lot of automation because why waste your time when you can, automate it? So when you have stuff automated, you have enough time to focus on things that cannot be automated or has not been automated yet, right? So when you have stuff like this, when you can just with a single click of button do your deployments and all of that, it's quite impressive. So Team Carries, thank you for showing us the amazing solution you have built, and we are really proud of you. So in the first position.
Yes, first position. Everybody's everybody's chatting me in the background. Okay, we need some suspense for first position. Okay. That's why I stopped sharing my screen. Drum roll. Lara, you should have organized more music for us for this first position. Okay.
Really noted.
Let's we need someone, one of the other judges, to volunteer to announce the first position. Ooh, thank you so much, Babatunde. We appreciate you. Do we have Ayotunde on the call? Are you here? We know some of them have left. Ayotunde or Sam?
I am here, but I will defer.
Okay, I think I know some of our judges, and to be fair, they really tried for us. Okay, so Sam, it's going to be over to you now.
Oh, really? Are you sure? before I go and mention a different team.
I'm going to share my screen. Don't worry.
That has won. So but I think all said, the judges have said all that, it's my privilege to announce the winner for this cohort is Team Wellness Wave. Team Wellness Wave is the winner for this cohort's project. Well done. Keep it up. With that said, all of you are winners because you guys, couple of weeks into this, you have done different, being able to push it through to get this done. But congratulations to Wellness Wave. For all of you, remember, everything you've been taught is just like going to school and being taught that this is a triangle, this is a circle, this is a square, this is a whatever. It is up to you to use those basic shapes to create a masterpiece. So don't relent. Whatever you've learned, seek more for it, right? There's a big community out there all across, from Copilot Studio, from AI to Power BI, massive community out there. Like, take opportunity of it, be part of the community, have a growth mindset, yearn for it, and put yourself through the process. I'm sure next year by this time, when you remember, you come back and say, "This is when I started the journey." And from all the the feedback we've given you guys, take that into consideration, and you can come back to yourself and say, "This is where I started. I can see drastic improvement." With that said, thank you, Textilers. Thank you, all of you, our judges, mentors, our coaches. A big thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know if we have any representative from any of the teams that came first to third who wants to just say something before I pass to Ellie to wrap up. Do we have anyone? Wellness Wave. Have you gone for a wellness break? What's the second runner up? The Azure guys, anybody here? Or the cloud team, the cloud security team? Do we have anyone?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. What team are you from?
I'm speaking on behalf of the cloud computing team, the team carries.
Okay.
I want to start by first appreciating the textilers organizers, the mentors, the volunteers, everyone on the support team for giving us this opportunity to explore, to grow, and to thrive. It's been the past 8 weeks has been a wonderful experience. It's been a full package ranging from the technical training to the soft skills training. All of these trainings came together in order to build us into what we are presenting today. So this solution, before now, I've been exploring Azure, but I never I actually explored automation using Bicep. So this particular experience exposed me to new technologies and everything. So it's been a wonderful experience, and having wonderful team members, teammates to work with. We actually built one another. We worked together, collaborated, developed one another, soft skills, technical skills, and the rest. So I want to say thank you to everyone. Special thank you to our mentors, Madam Titi, to Jennifer, to Tosin. They were really wonderful. They poured in a lot into us. So I want to say thank you very much to everyone. So we are proud to be part of this achievement.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. And do we have anyone from the Azure team? No, that was the Azure team. The security team or Power Apps, the wellness team. All right, in the absence of none, I'll pass to Ellie to give our final announcement and vote of thanks, and then we can call it a day.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a long day, and I'm super, super excited that, we started this with God, and God has been faithful to bring us, to the end of this 8 weeks, wonderful 8 weeks. I'll also like to to tell everyone that please, please, and please do not dissolve your groups. You remember what I said during the soft skills? You guys can build solutions here. You guys can become entrepreneurs by being in this group and taking it to the next stage. I would expect that the entire 7 groups will come together and say we need to build something out of these 8 weeks, to say this is a solution that came out from textilers for this particular cohort. So that's a challenge to all of you and to all the mentors. Let's turn around, let's disrupt some situations, some processes, some sectors. Let's think outside, without the box this time around, not even outside the box. So we'd like to say a big thank you for your time, especially to the judges. Thank you. We know you are extremely busy men, but you took time to, show us some love, and we just want to say thank you, and we love you so much. To all the mentors, we can't thank you enough. To all the students, you guys are amazing. I mean, you blew our mind. Everyone is a winner. I'd just like to mention that by the end of this month, that's on the 26th of June, we're going to have the awards, the certificates, celebration and all of that. And I would like to encourage everyone to be part of it. As a matter of fact,
bring your family and friends because we're going to make so much noise, on that day. So please invite everyone and let's celebrate together, and let's celebrate our wins, because this is a win for everyone, not just the first, second, and the third winners. This is for textilers, and this is for you as well, because without you guys, there's no textilers. So thank you so much. Again, don't forget, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, like, share, put it on your status, and let everyone come together and let's build this community. So we're looking at, before the end of this year, we'll be having 5,000 members, and it's possible, it's doable. If you know you've gained anything within this 8 weeks, I don't think you should keep this to yourself. So share it, go on LinkedIn, on X, on all your social media, and make the noise. Let the world know that there's textilers somewhere. Having said that, we'd like to say a big thank you and have a wonderful weekend. And congratulations to all of us. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Ellie. So just before we go, I want to say thank you to two amazing people, Jeshri and Omolola. They have been amazing, coordinating right from the beginning, the training, the groups, the mentor, the curriculum, the WhatsApp group, the announcements, the projects, the judges, I know I was still chatting with Jeshri yesterday night. Oh, the Excel sheet for the judges, all of that. Both of them have been amazing, and we want to say a big thank you for and alongside, they were also mentoring. So thank you so much to Jeshri, thank you to Molola, thank you so much for your dedication in the past 8 weeks, 8 to 10 to 12 weeks, because we started planning ahead. A big thank you. We can't thank you enough. We love you. We appreciate you so much. And to Molara as well, who's supporting us behind the scenes. Thank you so much for all your hard work. So earlier I said it all. Let's see you on 20. We're going to give awards to people as well. So it's not just the winning groups. We're going to have individual awards. So please come on the anniversary day. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thanks, everyone. And we are a family,
Yeah,
so
thank you
please
so
join
much.
us.
Yeah,
we have a picture.
and please don't forget your soft skills.
Picture. Sorry, picture.
Yeah. And also
Yeah,
your soft
good idea.
skills learning.
Don't forget your soft skills. Stop sharing your screen.
Don't forget your soft skills, because it really, some of you took that in today, and we could see it displayed. And please, team spirit is very important. You can't do anything without team spirit, teamwork, presentation, all that we've taught.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you
Thank you,
all. Please
everyone.
come for
See
the
you.
anniversary.
Bye-bye.
We have a special gift for everybody.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. God bless. Bye.
Yeah, bye everyone.